Welcome once again, bitch, to Dumpster
Who, me?
Talk.
You're welcoming me?
I'm welcoming one and all to the motherfucking program this evening. Today we have fucking special guest, Nick Robinson, the legendary video game journalist and investigator. I'm your host, bum number one, lick my crotch. And this motherfucker right over there, BYTE.
Hello.
Got a hell of a program for you this evening. News of all fucking kinds. Every which way. And this exclusive interview coming at you.
Everyone make sure they have enough alcohol intake before starting the stream.
We need to drink.
Yep. You have a recommended drink count?
It is the time.
You know how you go to a comedy bar and they have like a requirement?
Today I have a bowl of beer. Bowl of beers. Right here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, just making sure because you weren't responding to what I was saying.
You were fucking saying I was showing off my bowl of beer. Check it out. It's got fucking ice in it and shit. I don't have to get up. I can just keep drinking for the whole program now. We're bringing new fucking fangled.
I don't think 2 is enough.
Solutions. No, there's more than 2. I've got this one too. I've got one queued. It's in the fucking queue.
So what's your secret about the fact that you drink so much beer yet you maintain your slim physique?
Well, I mean, the beer passes right through. It goes straight through the fucking urethra.
So what you do is you create a hole in your liver so that it passes
right through. Right through. Yep, it's already there.
You bitch.
There it is. It's
there
a fucking raid.
What is this?
Let's fucking roll the music one more time.
Oh, we go. Okay, here we go. Music.
This is fucking Dumpster Talk. I'm your fucking host, bum number one. This motherfucker over there is BYTE. And today's special guest is Nick Robinson.
What? No, they just came from Nick Robinson.
Legendary video game journalist. What was that, BYTE?
No, this came from Nick Robinson. You must be confused. You know, this isn't his channel.
We're about to bring him on in. Let's see if we can get this to work.
But there's only 2 desks. Did you get a third desk?
There he is, the man himself. And I've gone ahead and got a second screen.
Ooh.
Yes.
Interesting.
We have a second screen.
Jeremy,
so
I left you a YouTube comment about how I would agree to come on this if I could have my own one of these desks that you pirated.
Oh, well, I could certainly arrange that at a different time, but this time we thought we'd throw you on the screen because I'd have to get a little bit more room in the studio. We'd have to like.
Also, there's a strict no objects on the surface area of the desk policy. You might notice I have to keep my microphone on my lap.
I see.
You see that?
I see. How are you? It's quite a bit of balance you got going there. I'm noticing.
Yeah. I've got the bowl of beer back here. We've got a bunch of storage space underneath these desks.
Bum gets really like he would keep his beer on his desk, but like there's a strict nothing on desk policy. You have to keep everything in your lap.
I noticed you have another new TV in the studio too.
It is. It's just specifically so that we can display content while the guest is in the studio.
I like how whether there's content or not, you get grayscale box.
Yep.
I think that's great. Whether there's something displayed there or not, you still get, even if there's no graphic, you still get like a grayscale gradient thing, which is nice.
Well, that's the way it is. It's genuine. It's genuine Sony goodness.
Yeah. You should come up with a screensaver also, so because you don't want like these images of your scene to like burn into people's screens, so you should have a screensaver go off like every 30 minutes.
Let me just do this. This will be a screensaver of sorts, I suppose.
Wait, what's gonna happen? Is it gonna be?
The chat is now on the TV.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Look at that, Nasty Maddie, Tommy.
So
there it is.
We can save the entire screen.
He remembered how to.
We won't burn it.
He remembered how to do a thing.
I gotta say, Jeremy, also you have an incredibly well lit studio. The way that nothing is casting a shadow really just speaks to the totality of the production.
Total lighting from every angle. We've got boom mics. We've got boom cameras. We've
They're
got
bright
grips,
too and really hot.
and we've got grips for the grips. We've got a fucking crew going here. So
I
how have
always
you been,
really,
Nick?
I'm
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it has. It was. I think the last time I saw you in person was 9 years ago in Los Angeles.
True,
9-ish
true.
years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you came
that
in.
was a delightful time.
It really was.
Like
Y-
you, I have a bowl of beers in my lap. I
Nice.
just feel like
Cheers.
it would be fitting. Cheers.
Let's all have a drink.
cheers. My flat Coke that Chick-fil-A gave me. They gave me a flat Coke.
It came out flat.
Yeah, that happens a lot. I go to fast food restaurants, I get soda, it's flat.
That's wild.
Always flat. It's happening all the time nowadays.
Yeah,
It's the year 2023. I think it's inflation.
The
or
ice
something.
cream machine going down is no longer the thing. It's now flat cola.
Yeah, we all got used to that, and now they've got a new issue for us to contend with.
Yep, it's gonna be on
What-
another app.
When are we gonna have a Netflix documentary about the ice cream machines at McDonald's? I feel like it's
I'm
gotta be
surprised
on
that
the
hasn't
horizon.
happened.
I
There's a
think it
really
has.
good episode of a podcast called Understood. That's where they talk only about the McFlurry machine specifically and why every McFlurry, like they stopped stirring the ingredients in like 10 years ago, and now it's just a pile of bullshit on top of your ice cream with no stirring. And it's a really, really good piece of reporting from those guys. I would recommend that.
Yeah, I used to service those machines.
What's
I
it
worked-
called?
Understood is the name of the show.
I worked at McDonald's. What's going on is that the regular maintenance isn't being done on these machines. It's not a fucking rocket science situation. It's
thought it had to
that
do with how much
nobody's
they're
doing
paying
that
for the
shit. I used to
maintenance.
wake up at 5 in the morning and do it every day. It
They
doesn't
stopped.
happen.
Well, the thing is, they stopped hiring Jeremys to do it, and they just didn't hire anyone to do it. I think.
Yeah, either that or whoever unloaded the truck just didn't bother to do the maintenance, so the rest of the shit, just leave the fry filter unfiltered, just leave the ice cream unflushed, because you just gotta flush that shit every week. That's what you gotta do.
I thought
I mean,
that it ended
the
up being
Nintendo
like there was.
DS game that you
Yeah,
uncovered.
I know all this already. I've already simulated
You've
this
gone through
activity.
training. So have
Mhm.
I.
Oh my god. Is there a McFlurry option in the DS game? The
Weirdly,
McDonald's DS
no.
game?
There's no ice cream, and there's two big omissions from the McDonald's training game that we noticed. One, there's no like ice cream shit going on whatsoever. Also, no McNuggets anywhere in the game, which is weird because they have McNuggets in Japan,
They really do. They have tons of McNuggets. You can get them.
loads.
So you're living in Japan now, right?
No, but I can see why you'd think that.
Oh, I
It probably
totally
looks
thought
that
you
way.
moved over there at this point because you've covered so much over there.
Yeah, that's a common conspiracy theory. I live in Los Angeles, but
You
I
just
go to Japan a bunch.
you just fly a lot. How lucky. I wish I could fly a bunch. Do you have a trick for like reducing airline costs that you could let us know about?
Well, making a YouTube channel around them and writing them off in your taxes is one of them. But beyond that,
Save you 30%.
I use Google Flights a lot because I very rarely need to be there like at a specific time. So I just kind of put in like a range of dates in Google Flights. There's like a really great like grid view on there that lets you
Yep,
kind of.
it's sweet. I've seen
It's
it.
so good. It
But-
makes like a massive difference sometimes.
You are free. You have no children, correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
See, if you've got the school schedule that you have to deal with, it's a whole nother fucking animal. Every price on the school not excused absence day is really, really low.
Oh.
And then as soon as the absence is okay for school, it is fucked.
It spikes. When was
It's
the last
so
time
bad.
you and Kyle went there?
The last time we went was in July, so that was pretty good. We it cost us like I think $5,000 to get there, which is
Damn. Oh my God.
well, I mean that was all three of us, so it's not too bad.
I guess
honestly.
that's not that bad.
No,
but
it's
I
really not. I
aim-
got good prices.
That is good. I aim for sub 1K
I have
is
a
kind of
connecting
my
flight.
yardstick. Oh yeah.
So I
That's
had to go to LAX to move out, or actually San
That makes a lot of
Francisco.
sense.
San Francisco, not LAX. But the connecting
Yeah.
flight's longer, so it's going to be a bit more expensive from my spot too.
One of
but-
the handy things about LA is there's a lot of cheap direct flights to Tokyo, but I still get to live in America. So it's kind of the best of both worlds for me.
So how is
That's
your
ki-
Japanese language education going? Like, have you,
Non-existent.
even though you travel there so much,
Yeah. Yeah.
Why not? Like, I think you would get some investigative prowess. You'd be able to
I
dig down deep.
Yeah, that's
If
definitely true. It's a comment I get a lot. It's hard it's the answer, but I really should just like invest, just like delete one other hobby from my life and just replace it with rewatching your Japanese lessons videos from
that would
15 years
help.
ago.
You could certainly go through that. That would get you conversing in about a year, but you do have to do the work, but you could definitely get it done. And at that point, you could go to like you could go into the government building and ask them who the person who was owner of that property and try to track them down.
Oh,
Be
you're
like
talking about Microsoft Bimbos.
Microsoft Bimbos. Yeah. Oh, I didn't mention that. I should put that on the screen right now. Hold on. Let me.
Oh, you got
Yeah.
a graphic for that?
Oh, yeah,
Nice.
Oh, wow, he's got
definitely.
graphics.
So this is the last. This
Oh,
is the last thing that Nick covered in his YouTube channel, Babylonian. Uh, anyway, it's Microsoft Bimbos. Ugh, can't pronounce it. It's hard to even
Bilbos?
look
You
at.
got a little Lord of the Rings action getting
Yep,
mixed
he
in
did.
there. I think.
I almost went straight for the Baggins there, but this is a real.
Microsoft Baggins.
This is a real place. I'm going to let Nick tell, since he's more of an expert than I am, I'm going to let Nick tell us a little more about it. But this is a place in Japan, and it has changed since this picture has been taken here.
That's correct. Yeah, this was an image. Or actually, it's a different angle of it is the one that I'm most familiar with. This is the photo taken by this dude Adachi that also is really, really important in the video. But there's this image of this building that said Microsoft Bimbos on it that has been like, I think this image is older than like 80% of my audience, frankly. But this was like a funny image that was posted like pre-Reddit, like maybe around like the dig.com era or something. Maybe even earlier than that, actually. That was just like a funny. It was always on the front page of like the crappy off-brand subreddit for the past 20 years. But I remember like looking into like what does the Japanese on this sign mean, and I eventually uncovered that like this is a pun.
It's
And
Microsoft. It really
yes,
does say that.
yeah, it's spelled out right up top there, and then bimbo means poor or cheap in Japanese.
Yes, it does. It
So,
does. It means cheap or poor. It means poor, not cheap. It
yeah,
means poor.
and then
But
and then also the rest of it just says like used PC and parts shop. That's what it says on the top strip
Yep.
there. So this place, it turns out, was a computer shop where you could go and buy used like
Computers,
discarded old PC parts and monitors and stuff for really cheap. But so initially I set out to make a video just explaining that pun because I was like, I think 99% of people who see this image are like, haha, it's a knockoff version of Microsoft Windows, and they think you're not going to notice. And I was like fascinated by the realization that that was not the case at all, and it was a storefront, B, a joke, and not like a off-brand, because Japan doesn't really have like knockoff bootleg off-brand stuff in quite the same way that some other
yeah,
East Asian
I
countries
want to
do.
let. Yeah, I can talk about that a little bit. They sure do have that stuff, but in general, that is controlled by the Yakuza, and it is
Hmm.
sold in very specific Yakuza-controlled areas of certain cities, bigger ones usually. And those knockoff things will be for sale on the street corners and in some of the stores, and those places pay protection money to the Yakuza and then
Whoa.
hawk these items, many of which are shipped from China directly into Japan, like Rolexes that are not Rolexes and the like. That kind of stuff is all localized in Japan. And that's also where you'll find the legal drugs, which are like these chemicals like DXM and like offshoot things like canine
Like
spice
grocery
and
store
things like
or
that.
like gas station weed, K2 type of
Yeah, that
stuff.
stuff, K2 and stuff, not real weed at all, but it's dangerous. It's more dangerous than weed, but it's the thing is they take all these substances that haven't been scheduled in Japan and they sell them and they give you receipts for them in these stores, and then right next door are going to be the knockoff Rolexes and the knockoff jewelry and things like that. Lots of gold-plated
Hmm.
things that should be real gold and the like. So it's a very booming market in Japan, but it's kind of localized to either that or hyakuen shops, which are the
Hmm.
100 yen stores that you can also get extraordinarily cheap Chinese goods from, but it's not really knocking off anything. It's just frickin' cheap.
You lived in Hirakata, right?
Correct. Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
what? Where is that? Like, where is that relative to Tokyo? How far out there
So
is it?
Um, Osaka is the closest major city to Hirakata. It is a little bit west of Hirakata, so you have to take the Keihan train line for about 30 minutes at about 35 kilometers to 50 kilometers per hour for the trip. An express train will get you there in 20 minutes. That'll get you to
Okay.
Osaka. From there, Kyoto is also 30 minutes away on that same
Oh, so it's right
train.
in between them.
It's between Kyoto and Osaka, yes. And
Nice.
then continuing from Kyoto, you can get to Tokyo. You can take an overnight bus to Tokyo, which will take 8 hours. You just get on the bus and go to sleep, and you wake up in Tokyo, and that costs about $100 or Ichiman-en. And then you can also take the bullet train, which takes about Niman-en, and that'll get you there in a couple hours.
Can I
So,
ask you something? I've always been fascinated by this, and I've never had the balls to ask any of my friends who live in Japan this.
mhm,
Like, when I'm hanging out, I have a lot of friends in Japan who are Japanese, and I have a
yep,
lot of friends in Japan who are like foreigners.
of course.
And the foreigners who are like English is their first language, but they are learning Japanese.
Good.
I've noticed that whenever we're talking about stuff in a store or what something costs or the price of a drink or something,
hmm
even though we're always communicating in English, they always instinctively say the name of the price in Japanese like you just did. And
Yeah.
why does that happen?
It
Because I
happens
notice it with
because the
everyone.
exchange rate's different. If I said dollars, if I was just like this costs so many dollars, I've got to calculate an exchange rate in my head, and
Yeah.
it fluctuates and stuff. So it's also just I know how to say it. I I
Yeah.
scale back the amount of Japanese I use based on the level of the people around me too. So if
Mm.
I'm around foreigners that speak Japanese in a fluent way, I will start speaking Japanese around them too. But I don't want to leave anybody out. But at the same time, every foreigner knows what the numbers are that are living in Japan. You've gone
Yeah.
through at least enough to fucking know how to count if you're gonna live there.
That
I
makes
think even
sense.
if you did, and I thought you moved there, but it's funny that rumor wound up. It's fake news. That's what the world's full of right now. We
Hmm.
bring you the truth in this program, but it,
Yeah. I've thought about it, and I used to answer pretty quickly when people asked me if I would ever live there with just like, no, I like visiting, but I the more I visit, the closer I get to being like I could do this,
you
and
could
I would really
definitely do
enjoy
it.
it.
You
I have a
could
lot of
definitely do it.
friends there. I have a friend group there that I really love, and now I'm doing the kind of like uh unpleasant algebra of like trying to figure out which friend group I like more, my Japan friends or my California friends.
Okay, just given your popularity, understanding that you have 1.25 million subscribers, okay? So that's you're in a different tier than we are. When I met you, you were a wee pup, and I was the one that had
That is
all
true.
the subscribers, even though it wasn't Dick. Like the thing is that like, when I met you, it was a whole nother dynamic. Now you have the ability to do this journalism a lot independently, which is really cool. And you don't have to depend on Japan to give you your career, which is usually an English teaching job for a foreigner. And I'm sure not most, I'm sure many of the people that you've met in Japan who are in these friend circles are English teachers. Am I right
There's
about
definitely
that?
some. There's
Yeah.
definitely some, yeah. Or at least they started out doing that and then transitioned to working for Japanese companies.
That definitely
Um,
happened. I did that. So that makes sense. That happens to a lot of us, and some of us just go home. But and either way though, yeah, they start a lot with English teaching. So
Screeb in the chat says Scout is an example of that. Scout is one of my primary Twitch mods, and
mhm,
she just moved to Japan from New Zealand, I think last year, to teach English.
congratulations to her.
Yeah, she did the damn thing.
It really does change your life. It's a great thing. You're not gonna get paid a lot, but you will get fluent quick if you care. If you don't
Mm.
care, why are you doing that? It doesn't make any sense to go there if you're not trying to just totally immerse yourself in something different, because that's what it's all about. But
See, I work for
you would be able
Japanese
to do
country.
it without getting stuck in the loop of teaching English all the time, whether it be to actual students from a public school, which is what I did, or
Hmm.
doing a Kiowa, which is teaching adults, which literally anyone could just go in there and do that at this point.
By binge, were you gonna say you
I,
you technically work for a Japanese company?
well, I say I work for a Japanese company,
He
but one
does.
of the things, a lot of the things one of my interactions, because I interact with a lot of people who only speak Japanese,
Huh.
so I have to use like the Google Translate because I'm
Well,
interacting with just
Google
like text.
Sensei.
So I'm just like right click, translate to English. But I'm having a situation right now where I'm going to be traveling and meeting someone who's traveling from Japan here to America and doing a demonstration. And I'm like, man, knowing a little bit, I should be watching some of these sensei videos so I could at
They're
least have
good. They're the best
so
in
I
the
can
world.
just
It's
say at least so I could say a couple things to him, and that gives that camaraderie to someone, especially if you're giving a demo to a client. You know what I mean? That could be like, oh, he speaks a little Japanese. That's nice.
that
But
they
like,
will. You're gonna
I,
get a few Nihongo Josus if you do that. I promise.
You will, and he did say his Japanese was great just now. So you will. The point is that whole
no,
thing, that whole
I have
lesson thing was
demonstrated.
actually derived from my actual Japanese teacher. So I stole that whole curriculum from
I
front
have
Hmm.
to back.
You
demonstrated.
presented it better though, I think.
Masako Hoy is the person who actually developed that exact curriculum that I deliver, and it's perfect, in my opinion, to get you fluent. It's not
Hmm.
perfect to get you reading because reading requires a lot more time and effort than what I put into putting those videos in there, but it gets you fluent. And it gets you survivable there. Not just survivable. You'll get some Nihongo Josus, and it will be kind of untrue because you've got a lot to learn. You always do. Your vocabulary will increase exponentially as you live there and you continue to just do things. But
I
it,
the best Nihongo Jozu moment, my last trip, was my younger brother Mark
mhm,
moved to Japan 3 or 4 years ago and has gotten legitimately mind-bogglingly good at Japanese incredibly fast. I think he avoided the trap a lot of foreigners fall into of moving there and then just hanging out with other foreigners. He is like fully immersed in Japanese culture, is dating a girl who doesn't really speak English and mostly hangs out with other Japanese speakers. And we were at a earlier this year we were at like a shoe store. He was like taking me clothing shopping and stuff. And at the end of the he was speaking Japanese to the clerk the whole time. And at the end of the transaction, the clerk says something to him in Japanese, and like kind of quietly, like kind of low key. And then
mhm.
as we're leaving the store, I asked Mark, like, what did he say to you? And he said he was asking me if I grew up here. Which is like that's way better than just your run of the mill
Yeah,
Nihongo Jozu. This dude
that's
thought that
definitely
Mark lived in like grew up in Japan, which I think is a pretty high praise.
that's very high praise. I've never had anyone ask me that, and they shouldn't because I've never reached that level, nor did I ever claim to reach that level.
Hmm.
I just have a fluent understanding of Japanese grammar, and I'm able to inject all of my vocabulary, which is quite a bit, into it. And usually it's enough to get my point across. And that's all that people really expect in communication.
I mean
People
that
get
seems critical.
very
Like,
butthurt about levels, especially foreigners. I don't understand it. Like it's about your relationships with people. It's about whether or
hmm,
not you're able to like make a connection and communicate your ideas with them. That's it.
yeah,
If you can do it, you're good.
for
And
sure.
then there's the extra level of, oh, can you interpret the kanji in this JRPG that's using stuff from like periods that are far back and stuff? That's a whole nother animal, and I'm not
Yeah,
there. That's not me. I never
like weird
claimed
old
though.
kanji that like a lot of Japanese players of games might even struggle with.
Yeah, well, I struggle with fifth grade level kanji. It's just the way it is. But that's because I've got only so much time, you know. And
Hmm.
I like talking to people more than I like reading. I've always been more of a verbal communicator.
Yeah, part of what's appealing about the Nama Sensei Japanese lessons to me is that every other or virtually every other Japanese lesson that you'll encounter if you're like a new learner is going to tell you like it's really important that you learn all your kanji first and as many as possible. You have to do this first. And I part of what got me into the your lessons initially was that you were like fuck that. Like let's focus on spoken Japanese
Well,
and then you
actually,
can
I did alternate hiragana and katakana with every grammar lesson for like 2 years before I started doing the kanji with the daily dump. And then eventually, after I got through about, I think, first grade kanji is what I got through. After that, it kind of broke down and we moved. and I was just like, okay, we're gonna stop doing this now because I've got to get a job, and things things changed. That Fukushima earthquake happened, you know.
Oh yeah, while you were there, right?
Yeah, while I was there, and they started shutting the water off and doing all this extreme shit, even in Osaka. And I was like, damn, bottled water's running out. I'd never seen anything like that before, and Kaio never did
I'm sure
either.
you had plenty of beer to make it.
We did. We
True.
were fine. We were fine. Nothing bad happened. But we were at that point like, God damn, do we really want to keep doing this or do we want to go have a kid somewhere? And that was it. We just bailed out of there at that point. And we
Hmm.
it took us 9 months to leave. You don't get to leave country based on whim. You don't just be like, pack up the car, honey. We're fucking go. No, it doesn't work like that at all. So we spent 9 months getting that paperwork and shit together so that we could get it done, and then we got out of there, and we had a kid. So that's what the deal was with that. But
Nice.
that was the last thing. And so right around that time, that Daily Dump stuff stopped, and it was Namasense kind of drifted from the mainstream of YouTube or whatever. It wasn't really mainstream anyway. It was just
Mhm. I think for
a
a
tool,
time though,
honestly.
you were so early on YouTube, and like you were talking about like number of subscribers or whatever. The number
Yep.
of subscribers you had at that time was a huge number at that
At
time.
that
It
time, it
was
was big.
thousands, and you didn't see that super often 15 years ago.
Yeah, it was a weird situation, but it also at the same time was not a whole lot. And the funny thing was though, the lengths that the people who did subscribe to me, what they would do, and I want to hear your experiences with this. I'm gonna give one example. Like I had about 5 people make a pilgrimage to Japan, and when they did, they wanted to find out my address and came and drank beer with me. I had people send me beer in the mail. I had people send me strange artifacts in the mail. It was an interest. I did give them my address, so that was. But they indicated at first, hey, I want to give you this sick thing, and like, does that happen to you too? You've got a lot of people, but I don't know if things back then were different. Like
Yeah, I think
people
they
from
were.
Germany were trying to send me crates of alcohol and stuff. It was a different time.
Mhm. It was a different time, and I think a lot of people, like if you look at the comments on Nama Sensei videos now, there's people who had their lives legitimately changed by those
That's
videos
so
who
true. That is
and
true.
like I just think that they had a really special closeness with you, and it was probably a little
So
like safer. Like I'm pretty hard to get in contact with or mail shit to. I did have like 4 years ago maybe I was in Tokyo doing something I never do, which was live streaming in Tokyo, and I it was around Halloween, so it's probably 2018, 2019, and I went into a Burger King because they had this like dark black burger for Halloween that year. Like the bun was dark black. And I bought it and sat down, and then this like white dude walked in the restaurant and sat down across the table from me and kind of started talking to me like we were friends. And he was like a viewer who was saw that I was live and just went and found me.
cool.
It was kind of cool. He was a nice enough guy. Um, but that was a real kind of wake up call of like there being conscientious of how much access you give people and their ability to find you.
True.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, you do have to be careful of that. I'm careful now about that. I don't dox myself anymore. It's a different story at this point. Only
yeah,
people I really trust and I've spoken to do I do that with. But it was different back then, especially if they're gonna fucking fly to Japan at that point. They've already spent thousands of dollars. I'm not
yeah.
gonna. But I want to give a shout out to the 2,000 people because I've looked through the YouTube analytics and all this. I didn't get paid anything, but I looked through it, and 2,000 people actually watched every fucking video of the
That's awesome.
Nama Sensei's Japanese lessons, which means they went from front to back and they actually learned. They might not have learned it. Let's say that half of them learned it. That
I
means
think
that a
more than
thousand
half.
people understand Japanese grammar and hiragana and katakana because I went and fucking wasted all that time. So it wasn't a waste because they learned it. So there it is. But
Yeah, definitely not a waste. And that's that's a great perspective to have on it. I love looking at the comments on those Nama Sensei videos because it's like people being like, this was the start of me learning Japanese, and now I've lived in Japan for 7 years, and like that's a legitimate huge impact on a ton of people's lives. That's
Well, I
part of
would
what's
love
cool
to
about
hear that
YouTube.
you actually went through them all and then went in there and did some deep investigative journalism, like going to
Hmm.
Shakshamai and go in there and like ask for property records, find like whoever the owner of this building was, interview the guy. Like that would be so dope. Do you know how
That would be
dope that
cool.
would be? You know how next level you would be if you were
It's
doing that kind of reporting.
it's crossed my mind also to just in the short term do something like that with the Microsoft Bimbo stuff. I actually, on that same Japan trip, I spent a lot of time on Japanese government websites putting in the address of the building and trying to find any records like that, and I couldn't. But I do have another way to access it that I may pursue next time I go there. But I'm kind of torn because I really am addicted to not revisiting the
Yeah.
same topics over
Oh,
and
I
over unless I have
totally
something.
get that. That
You know what
makes
I mean?
total
Like
sense. Yes.
I
Yes,
I
I get
don't
it.
really want to be the Super Monkey Ball guy or the Microsoft Bimbos guy,
No,
or
or
I'm
the
fine being those things, but I want to be all of them, and I want to just to hold my own attention better. I would rather sit down to make something that nobody's expecting
exactly,
than sit down
exactly.
to
No,
make
I
Microsoft
totally get
Bimbos
it.
Part
You've
Three.
you've
You know?
come you've gone this path. It's the next, but I'm talking about the thing is in 2 years, you're gonna go back to Japan again. You're gonna be investigating something even more hardcore
I'm
than
going in
this.
3 weeks, actually.
Okay, okay, so you're going back to Japan in 3 weeks. You're investigating something more hardcore. God, would that skill be good, right? Like, how
For
good would
real,
that be
yeah.
for you? If all the things you need to do in your life, that's what you need to do, because this is your career too. So
Yeah.
I can't recommend it enough. You don't have to do it through me. Like, make a Japanese friend, whatever, anything you can do. But like, that's the skill you need to learn. You're totally capable. You're brilliant,
I
so you can
I'm not
do it.
opposed to even like I might just maybe the move is just to straight up hire a tutor or something and like actually take it seriously. You're kind of I get comments all the time saying what you're saying to me, but this is the closest anyone's ever gotten to actually convincing me to
You
just
need to do it
do
because
the damn
of your
thing.
job. You need to be the best at what you do, and you already are the best at getting in depth into stuff nobody has looked at and needs to. You're really good at that. That's why everybody loves you. But if you could just take that one level farther and just be like such a fucking top G that you are like, I also speak Japanese and I'm gonna interview these people and put subtitles on this bitch. You know how cool that would be?
That
You
would
would
be
be
badass.
so good.
That's half the reason I want to do it. Is that would just be cool. I have this is such a dumb excuse and saying it out loud I'm realizing how stupid it is, but part of what I've told myself to justify not learning it
Mhm.
is that just a straight up brain plasticity like thing where I'm like I'm too
Bullshit.
old. I'm too old to learn it.
You're not too old to learn it. Not at all. I learned it when I was like, what, 21 or something, but I keep learning it every day. Every
Hmm.
single day I learn a new word. 'Cause Kaio's sitting there teaching my daughter Japanese. So, like, now the race is, do we ever let this child get above my level? And it will not happen. I will not allow that, which means
Nice.
I'm
Oh,
constantly raising up. But that's a
Oh,
very
competition.
hardcore scenario.
we've
But
got by the way, I just took a peek at the chat. We've got I don't know if he's still here, but my little brother Mark is in here and Scout, who I was telling you about, the my
yeah,
Twitch mod
hey
to
Scout,
Japan to
good job.
to teach English.
Congratulations on integrating yourself into a totally different culture. That's awesome. Enjoy that.
Yeah, we were just talking about you, Scout. That's correct. Um, yeah. So I don't want to totally monopolize your whole show today
No,
with
hold on, hold
just
on.
talking about.
We need to discuss something though. Hold on. So,
Okay.
this Microsoft Binbos thing, there was some merchandise available for it. You
Hmm.
remember? All
I
right. So,
do.
let's break the fourth wall here. All right. See the desk?
Whoa, there's actually
That
some
shouldn't be
depth effects
possible
there. That
right
look
there,
great.
but that right here,
Oh my god! It's like you're
this is.
stretching somehow your arm like 20 feet. I don't know how you're doing
Can you
that.
tell me about this anime girl that I'm trying to show off here? And I'm gonna get a picture of that here onto the screen as well. And though the comments are very heavy, we're gonna just take the chat box off for this next segment here. And um, this is this is the this is the memorabilia here. And
Uh huh.
when you when you watch the coverage of the Microsoft Binbo's meme and all of the story behind it from you, at the end you offer some merchandise for sale, some limited edition merchandise nonetheless.
That's right.
And it's sold out. There's none left. You can't get this. So
That's true.
I'm not hawking a product.
Who's
here.
that character?
This isn't
Who's
free
that character?
advertising here. This is
So by binge, so this is like a character that one of my favorite illustrators co-created for me, where the 2 sentence version is, there was a meme on the internet in Japan in the 2000s where people would take like Windows Me and Windows 98 and Internet Explorer and make them into like anime mascots for each of those things. And so I commissioned this guy who illustrator I really love to do that for Microsoft Bimbos. If Microsoft Bimbos was an operating system, what would she look like? So he gave her like old USB-A tail and like a CD-ROM drive and all these little clues, and like I think her shoes are.
That's what her bra is a CD-ROM drive. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of little Easter eggs.
I got that now. Okay.
So yeah, he's got this limited edition Polaroid of this. Is it Bimbostan? What's the name of the girl?
Yeah, that's what we've been calling it, Bimbostan.
Bimbostan. Okay, so I'm just making sure I got it right. We got this, and so what I did was I took my purchase, of course, which is sold out. So I know this is valuable already because no one can get it. None of you motherfuckers can get it. None of you. Anyway, so I got this thing. I went to my local gold and silver shop, the pawn shop, and I was like, hey, because I'm gonna flip this, right? It's already sold out.
I'm hurt.
Like, why you hurt? Why you hurt, Bo?
I thought you wanted it. I saw
your name's worth it, man. Worth
it should have
fat stacks. I flip.
That's what I'm saying.
I flip merchandise.
Are you in dire straits? What's going on financially with you?
No, I'm looking to make I'm looking to make $1 right here. What's happening is
why would you admit that right in front of the person
nearly nothing
that helps you commemorate this? I mean, geez.
And the guy is like wild famous. He's got a few of these going out, and I was like, I know I can sell this at my local pawn shop. I know I can sell this at my gold and silver shop. So I took it in there, right? I'm like,
a straight face.
What other face would I use?
It's like you're proud of the fact that you're hawking something that your close friend and YouTube compatriot memorized for you.
I don't know what to say.
Trying to fucking get the freaking
you gotta understand though the value. You're the BYTE. You should talk. You're the one always constantly buying this video game memorabilia and selling it again. This is no different.
I'll mention. I had a friend buy me a sealed copy of Splatterhouse on TurboGrafx 16, and I mentioned to him that I sold it and bought a complete box copy, and he was really mad at me. But like,
that's a strict upgrade.
See, I knew you did it. It's a sin we've all committed. All right.
I mean, but I admitted it to him. It was like, how's that sealed copy?
If it was autographed by your friend, then maybe I would feel differently about it. But you just upgraded.
But I also paid
better.
for the autograph. All right. If it's
that
so much
true.
a friend, I shouldn't have had to pay for the autograph, right? So
in fact,
I paid for the autograph. This is an investment. This was an investment, not.
Good point. It wasn't
I
a gift.
think I might have.
No, I bought this. This was not. If it was a gift, I would have sold it in a pawn shop. I bought this on the internet.
You paid for it. It's an investment. You know what?
And I had to pay $5 extra for the autograph. So, like, that
you didn't have to, but you chose to.
No, I had to. I can't sell this at a pawn shop just as a Polaroid.
That's true.
No way. I need the full money. I want creator, everything involved with it. It's all here, right? All right,
the truly deluxe version.
Yeah, so you can see it in the TV below, right? All right, so the issue was when I went to the pawn shop and I gave it to him, I was like, "This is Nick Robinson's Microsoft Bimbos Ton Polaroid here, and it's signed by him." And they were like, "Oh, that could be worth a lot of money." They were straight up just like
that was what they said.
That the first thing they said was that could be worth a lot, but they had to bring a guy in. So
did they know that her bra was a CD tray?
That would have increased the value, I think.
Yeah, they already knew. All right,
they've
all watched the documentary already. It's been out for a long time. They've seen it, so they already knew. They were excited. They were excited about this. All right, I was gonna make money. I needed it. I didn't need it, but I wanted it. Because I wanted to win on my investment. I love winning on my investments. But anyway, I went in there and they were like, we'll bring in someone to take a look at it. Because anytime there's something really valuable that they bring into that pawn shop, they just have an expert come check it out and make sure that the celebrity involved really actually signed the memorabilia. It's a sports thing usually. Usually it's like Joe DiMaggio or some shit like that. But in this case, it's Nick Robinson. So they were checking it out, and they told me that it was a fugazi.
Meaning,
They told me it was fake. That this was not your signature.
That's outrageous.
Did you actually write this onto this piece of memorabilia? I can use this video as evidence.
I promise I did. I did it on all 771 of them.
771 sold. Very rare
Did
item.
one extra one just for you.
That was probably
that was
mine.
one I set aside for Jeremy in case he asked me for a free one, but then he never hit me up.
Well,
It's still just sitting there.
Because I did ask you for free shit. I'm not that kind of person. I'm
I would
the kind of
happily
guy
do
that
it.
goes, all right, let me see which one of my friends I can ask for some free shit next. Anyway, the point is, I wanted to fucking make money on the fact you're selling them at too low a price. All right, that was my idea. But I saw an opportunity knocking. But then they said it was a fugazi. It was fake. All right, so let me show you what they did. Okay, what they did was they showed this. All right, take a look at that signature right there. They showed this, which was the one that was on the website that actually is pictured as being sold.
That's the first one I signed.
They were telling me that this was just not your signature compared to this one here, which
they didn't have any other.
Arguably does look different.
On it?
I didn't trust this person. I didn't, because I know you. You're my friend. So I was like, this guy wouldn't just be like sending fake shit out. Like, why would he do that? Who would fake? Like, it didn't make sense. Like, I didn't understand. Excuse me, I need more.
It's not even that many Polaroids, too. There's only 700 of them.
Exactly. But they thought someone was out there fucking with me, and the guy, they wouldn't take it. They wouldn't take it. They wouldn't give me $2 for the thing. So,
I'm sorry to hear that. What an unfortunate misunderstanding.
It is.
They are.
But I'm glad to hear you
wrong.
say it's real. So I think I could probably come back here with a copy of this broadcast and actually show your face with it. And
I'm authenticating it now live.
But what I want to do is I want to put you over here for a second. I want to call someone, because I figured, since you're here and this handwriting expert that came into the pawn shop like fucked me over, I figured I'd get another handwriting expert on the program that we could call, and we'd have them evaluate this signature and see whether or not this signature is legitimate or not, or why, and they can even talk to you about it. Like, you're right here, you signed it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure we can get this resolved.
I would love to get to the bottom of this right here, right now.
Right here and right now. So let's take a look. Let's bring that. This is the real signature right here, and we can take a look at that. Let's get it in zoomed. Let's zoom it in. Let's zoom that signature in deep.
We don't need to do that.
Hold on. There we go. There it is. Deep. There it is. There's the signature. That's clear as day. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this this handwriting expert in here. Let me get him called on the phone. All right, the phone is ringing. Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. This is James. Hello.
Hello, James. I remember
James.
I hired you to analyze some handwriting. I'm sending it to you now. What you see here is the signature of Nick Robinson that I have on the bottom of my Microsoft
I'm on my cell phone.
Bimbo's card here.
I have a Razor phone.
I understand that. That's okay. Don't worry. You're good. You're good with your tech.
I don't know if you understand. I'm actually here in the United Kingdom.
Okay.
I was picking up on that, actually.
That's really good.
I could tell from the sound of your voice. You have a
Well,
slight accent.
all of the best penmanship comes from the UK. We know this. That's why we hire
I don't
nothing.
actually know who you are. I'm just gonna say this right now. I don't know why you're. Who are you?
I'm bum number one. I'm calling because I have some handwriting that you agreed to analyze at a very fair cost, And
you
here,
think that I could see your handwriting right now? Is that what you're saying?
You gotta text it to him, Jeremy. He's on a razor.
oh, you're
You're
on
gonna
a
have to
razor.
send an MMS message.
I'm on a razor telephone right now.
Oh my God.
Are you also? It sounds like you might also be on a razor scooter.
No, I'm actually in my bed with my wife right now. She's right next to me. I think she's very upset that I've gotten a call at 1:42
I was gonna
a.m.
ask, what time is it over there?
It's very early in the morning.
Can we speak to her for a second? I just want to.
Well, I don't think she'll be happy
Apologize.
about it, but I'll see if I can.
Okay, thank you.
Gladys,
Oh
it's
my
on-
God.
they're
I
on the
didn't
phone.
expect to see so much.
Hello?
Hey, is
It's
this
me.
James? Is this James's wife?
What? I don't want to be here.
I don't want
Okay,
you to
I
be
just
here
wanted to-
either. I
real
want
quick-
my handwriting analyzed here. I sent this
James!
guy a text on his razor phone.
James, take his back. All right, I'll take it back. I don't understand. Why did you drag my wife?
I just wanted to apologize.
Is
30
your
years
wife a
into this
handwriting
conversation.
expert or not? I want you to look at this signature and tell me, is this Nick Robinson's signature or not? And tell
Hold
me,
on,
I've got Nick Robinson on the line right now.
It's downloading at this very moment. I'm looking at it. It's at 88%.
Oh, for
That's gonna be an
God's sake.
expensive MMS message, Jeremy. You're sending it an international
I don't care. I don't
multimedia
care.
SMS.
Anything for the show. Anything
Probably
for the
costs
show.
more than the Polaroid.
Drop those coins. It doesn't matter.
Oh,
None
okay.
of that matters.
It is downloaded all the way. I'm definitely got this message on my Razer telephone. I've got this upgraded a few years ago.
Bitch.
It's got
For the international MMS.
3G.
Thank you,
Wow, this is gonna
Babylonian,
take.
for that one.
Oh, I see. You're the gentleman from the United States that had sent me this handwriting sample claiming that that you thought that someone unfairly described your signatures of
Well,
forgery.
Just
A
hold on.
forgery,
We've got
correct.
the actual signatory here. We've got the signatory on the call,
Yeah.
so it's a party line. We got 3 people on here.
I
The
will admit,
signatory's here saying and validating right now that he did. This is Nick Robinson. He says he did write this. Again, can you say that to this gentleman?
I, Nicholas Robinson, the undersigned, solemnly swear. I have a. You can't. It's off screen. I have a Quran actually that I'm gonna swear on. But I do in fact
Oh.
swear that this is my signature.
I see it. Yes, it's on a very
Inshallah, you
small
believe me.
screen. But I will do my analysis on this signature.
I look forward to it.
I do see that there are some. Let me see if I can find my
We're
references.
gonna look at the real one here. This is not the
I
real
don't
one.
suppose-
The original one. The
They're-
original one.
Jeremy,
I
let's be
have
clear.
to.
They're both real ones.
They're very
okay?
real. You've already
Jot
said
that
that. You've
down.
already said that. You've said it's real. So I'm just wondering how they can be so different. You know, given that right here, this is the example. So I would like the handwriting expert to comment on the difference between this signature here and this signature here that
Mm.
you see.
Yes, I do see that there is definitely some what we call a magna swoop action going on here at the first character into the second character at I think a slight 30-degree angle, which I find very consistent with the original.
There we go.
Now, the Willy swoop, in the industry we consider it the Willy swoop. The Willy swoop, which you will just accept as
Willis?
a term. The
Like
Willy
Bruce?
swoop. The Willy swoop. It's a word that totally exists. You could Google it. If you Google Willy swoop, it'll be there. as a handwriting expert terminology.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using that term to prove that I'm an expert.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well we all understand that. So tell me, like, if the signatory's right here telling me that this right here is actually his signature, and they are so different from each other, what could explain something like that? Like, how do you explain them being so far apart from each other?
Well, there's also the issue of inebriation. That could be an aspect of the signatures between one and the other.
Mm.
Oh, you think he
Is
was
it-
wasted?
Is it possible at one point that the signatory or the signature or the signaturess put this signature on this item that it was a different state of inebriation between one and the other?
It could have been. I mean,
Highly
yeah.
possible.
So what do you make of this? Let's look back at the original.
Yeah, can you give us just a what's your verdict? What's your diagnosis? Because I would love to clear my name right here, right now.
Well,
You're
the
gonna
Willy
make the
Swoop-
people, Jeremy, real quick, Jeremy. You're gonna make the people at the gold and silver pawn shop watch this 45-minute stream.
Heck yes, I want my money. In fact, every minute makes it worth more. I want it all.
I see.
Well, the Willy Swoop is dead on. I could see the Willy Swoop right there in the middle. It's very squashed down, like a hand came down and pushed down the Willy Swoop.
Mm-hmm.
The Willy Swoop was pushed down by a hand, made it very thin to the ground,
I don't know
as
what
if
you're
the
talking
person
about.
was the Willy
My swoop game, crazy.
It's very compressed at the ground, like something pressure from above. The
Like-
above pressure coming down,
Like
making
God?
Willy Swoop.
It's God's Willy Swoop.
And thus, I will say, from the Willy Swoop, moving on to the second character and the second word, is an E coming all the way around like an infinity symbol, like an
E?
octopus.
There's
If
no
you look
E.
at the-
There's no E
The
in Nick
last
Robinson.
letter, the last
There's no E
character.
anywhere. What are you
It's-
talking about?
No, there's a squid. Look at the last character. It's
A squid?
It reaches across its own
It's
face,
Ika.
and the squid is itching its nose. If you look at the squid character, which is the last one, it's a squid using its own tentacle to itch its nose, coming all the way across to the left of the D.
Okay. The D.
The D?
That's what I see here in this character, the first of the second word. Followed by squid. D.
D squid?
D
All right. What's
squid
your
is what I
final
see.
conclusion about this? What's your final conclusion
If you
about
see
this?
D squid, it's gotta be real.
Wow.
You think it's real?
Well, with
Thank
a
God.
D followed by a squid itching its nose, it's definitely real.
Well, what does it say?
Oh well, it obviously doesn't.
Is
say
it a
in its name.
signature? Is this a signature?
I would say no, certainly so, because D squid is got to be someone's name. Someone in the world is definitely named D squid.
I'm not sure that's true.
I'm
James.
gonna.
I will Google on my computer, which is connected to the internet in the United Kingdom.
Is your computer on 3G also?
Did you? No, I've got regular internet on my computer. But did you know that web domains in England end in .co?
Not .co.uk, just .co?
Just .co
I didn't know that.
So I'm gonna Google dsquid.co and see what happens. Hold on a second. Let me see here.
What the hell is happening here? I'm confused as much as
squid.
you are.
James, I'm surprised your wife lets you have your
CO.
computer in bed at 1 a.m.
I keep a keyboard in my bed under my blanket just in case.
Just the keyboard.
But I mean, it's a wireless keyboard. It's got to connect to my computer.
So there's a
because,
computer across the room, or where's the computer?
the computer's. I think it's probably downstairs, but it can connect just fine.
It's not the connection I'm worried about. I just wonder how you're gonna verify that this website loaded when the computer is so far away.
In the United Kingdom, our Bluetooth technology is slightly superior.
Okay, I'm
It
gonna
is
take your
slightly
word for
superior.
it.
It can go through floors. It's fine. I don't know why you're questioning me about it, as if I would lie about my keyboard connecting to my computer. It seems
That's
like
true.
an odd accusation, actually.
It's not about the connection. The monitor's down there, right? And the whole computer. So like, you're not gonna be able to see what you're typing or what the result is, right?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what is absurd is this image that my client has sent me about his desk.
About my desk?
Yes, I
thought
don't
you-
know
whoa.
why. It seems like maybe you drunk texted me a picture of your desk probably the other day. And it's got a Asian takeout box underneath.
Oh, I've seen this. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those are the desks on the show. Yeah.
We're not. I mean,
Those are actually Johnny Carson's desks. That's
I'm gonna have
reinforced
to go ahead.
aluminum.
I'm actually not only a handwriting expert, but
You're a
but
desk expert?
I'm a desk expert as well.
he's a desk
I've
clerk.
got some bad news for you, my friend. I've got some really bad news. I don't know if you're prepared to hear this.
Is this gonna before you give
I
him this
don't know
information?
if I'm
is
prepared
Jeremy gonna
either.
have to
Do
pay
I have
extra?
cancer? What's going on?
You're gonna also have to pay me an extra.
5 words.
I will ask for an extra fee for this assessment I'm about to give you as well.
How much is it gonna be? I need to get
Do you-
on with it. What? How
did you
much is
pay
it
for
gonna
this
be?
Desk?
What?
Didn't
How
you
much?
pay? Yes.
This desk was free. I stole it off of eBay. I fucking told you guys.
I regret to inform you that this desk is not Johnny Carson's desk.
What? Whose desk is it?
I believe it's. I believe the desk was owned by Elton John.
You can tell from looking at it that it was owned by Elton John.
I don't know
That's
how
a
much
real
I
expert.
trust
You
this
bitch.
expert
But because
anymore.
I'm British,
desk
I felt
clerk.
compelled to say a British person.
Okay, and do you think that is interfering with your ability to accurately assess the previous
A lot
owner of
is
this
in-
desk?
I'm starting to question whether or not I'm gonna make my final payment to you.
Well, just,
might need a
just
third
know that
opinion, Jeremy.
I can sell the British desk, well, if I can, but that's the British desk. You're gonna have to trust me on this.
All right.
That signature definitely is a D squid. It's authenticated, it's validated, and if you want to give me an extra $500,
You want dollars?
No, we're gonna cut you off.
Well-
We don't need $500.
You don't
What's
want
$500? What's
I'm gonna go
$500
ahead and hang
get
up
us?
so I can.
What does
my wife-
$500 get us? First of all, 'cause we don't need it. But what is it?
Oh, the desk.
No. The $500. What do we get for $500 before I hang up the phone on your ass? Because this is gonna happen. Because you're
So
wasting my time.
no, so
It's D squid shit.
Even-
Because the D
even
is at
though
the
I
end
know
of the
your
thing.
desk
If there's
is
any D
inauthentic,
and it's at the fucking end of
I
the
will-
signature,
I
look at
am-
the motherfucking thing. Are you high? What the fuck?
D squid. Are we back on the D squid?
All right, look, I've had enough of you. I'm
It's
calling.
D squid. Look, it's a
I'm
it's
hanging.
a D followed by
I'm
a
hanging this
squid
fucking
itching
phone up
its
right
nose.
now because you are clearly out of line. All right. Going back here with everybody.
Hi, Binge. You were
Weird-
very
that was-
polite during that whole interview. I
Yeah,
gotta
you
say.
just did not. You
I
didn't
just
make
felt-
any comments to that person.
I just felt like there was nothing to say.
Well, I mean, he's not the one that got ripped off at the pawn shop. Well, I
He-
didn't get
he
ripped
kept
off. I
talking
didn't
about
get. I
dick-
couldn't sell my stuff. But this
He kept
person,
talking about, like,
they had
a-
nothing to
a-
say.
He kept talking about like a dick squid or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I-
Yeah,
don't know.
I didn't understand that either.
It didn't make any sense. But I have a different theory. I've been looking at this thing. I've been looking at this fucking signature right here. And I think that you didn't sign it. I think you inscribed the motherfucker. That's what I think.
What does inscribed mean?
That means you wrote a message instead of actually signing it your name.
Here we go. Only some people saw this 20 minutes earlier.
You're saying a hidden message? Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes, that's what I'm suggesting.
Like a
It's
sub?
not hidden. It's not hidden at all. It's
hidden in plain sight.
Plain sight. It's in plain sight. Look, you gave me a special card that I couldn't sell at the pawn shop because you inscribed it instead of signed it. That's just kind of bitch you are. But anyway, this is why I think I fucking gonna go ahead and get some marker out here and draw it out. And
Like you're gonna draw?
yep.
Wait, isn't that gonna like negate the value of the signature if you draw on it?
Jeremy, you should use that really, really bright neon red marker you have. Yeah, that one.
That one, yes.
Man, you did that really
As,
fast.
as you can see, I think what you actually wrote wasn't your fucking signature, but I think you wrote a message to my ass. It doesn't look like Nick Robinson to me. What do you think? What do you think of that?
I think that's Dick Squid. That's what that is.
You think it's Dick Squid too? Just like that British dude we just had on the program a second
it
ago?
makes more sense now. Yeah, it makes more sense now. Now I see it.
You see the Dick Squid now that this is in front of you. All right. Well,
What do you think it says, Jeremy? I want to hear your perspective on it.
oh, this is what I think it says. I'm pretty certain. This is it. I mean, that ain't an N, and that ain't a R. So I think this is what it was.
It's you bitch.
It's closer to you bitch than Nick Robinson, wouldn't you agree?
I would, and I'm really relieved that you figured it out. I
Yeah,
just wanted
'cause,
when I
like,
saw your
clearly-
address come through.
He's been waiting so long.
I wanted a little Easter egg, a little shout out to bum number one, and I wanted to nestle it in there, real hidden. I'm sorry that it compromised the resale value of the product.
Well,
but
no. Now that this has happened, I'm sure this is going to skyrocket
It might be the
into
most valuable one at this
stratosphere.
point.
No, now I'm going back and I'm going to be like, yeah, I offered you 100. It ain't going to happen now. I want a,
Oh,
I
yeah.
want a G, bitch. That's what's going to happen now.
Go back in there in a full suit and just be like,
I'll just
You-
drive
no more
the
of your
Lambo
mind
right on
games.
up, and I'll be like, look, we came to a misunderstanding last time, didn't we?
the offer's changed. That number was yesterday. There's a different number on the table now. Is it add a few digits to that?
All right, so I've got one more question for you before we let you go and do the rest of the program, because there's a long program after this, actually. Believe it or
How
not,
long?
after all of this,
How
there's yet
long?
more. There's yet more. But I
Do
want
you
to
have a
know,
graphic?
what are you
do you have a
working on
graphic
next?
for-
What?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
What were you saying? What are you going to work on next? What's the
Oh.
next thing in the queue?
So I have a
what's-
video that is due out in October.
Okay, that's coming
That
next month.
is, so for context, Jeremy, last thing about the signature, there were cards that I didn't put in, so I don't have a signature. Let me be clear about that.
Wait, so
I
not
have-
not all 751 were sold?
I've got one right. There were some that
Oh
were
shit!
too,
There's one right there.
too ugly to
Don't-
sell. I was too embarrassed
That
by.
one looks. That says Nick wrecked on it. Look,
There's like a
bring it
little
back. It
smudge,
says
too.
wrecked on it. You were fucking
says
wasted when you did
NC
that.
Racer.
That says Nick wrecked.
Yeah, that's
I
how I
don't
feel
know.
after this interview. There were a few that I just was like, I can't in good conscience put that in the mail to somebody because there were some that were just too ugly. I've actually got a few extras that were just
You should
busted,
send
and
one
my
to
signature
Bite.
really evolved over the course of the signing them. I also kept running, my Sharpies kept dying, so I would switch to thin Sharpies, which is I think you got one of the thin ones. So I think I think I started with a thin one, so I think you have one of the earliest ones. I should have
How
numbered
can
them.
you do something 700 times so differently? How does that
Dude,
happen?
I actually have a few extras. I
I
just ran
have
out
one
of stamps.
signature. It's like this. It's done. It's always the same.
Look at these. Look how wildly different these are.
That R has a fucking tail. There was no tail in my R.
I started adding a tail to the R because I
There's
realized
so many of them. You didn't sell them all. How many do you really have?
I printed more than I needed, and I just stopped adding them to the website because I was like, this is an overwhelming amount of work. I wasn't good at mailing shit before this. Now I'm great at it. I've figured out. I had to show up to the post office with 6 crates. It's 750 doesn't
Oh.
sound like a lot, but when they're
Nick.
thick envelopes and you're holding
Oh, I'm
it took me 2
horrible at
trips.
mailing shit, Nick. I think you've
It's
received
hard.
shit that I mailed to you. I'm pretty sure I mailed you shit. I'm almost positive I put your name on mail.
I think you have.
And when I did that, I was doing that so many times, and it was so much work and so much expense. I was like, God damn, this is not getting me shit. Is
It's
what I was
really-
thinking.
It was weirdly fun though. At a
It
certain
is
point,
fun. It's
doing
so much
mindless work like that. And I also had a friend of mine help me pack them. So they were all signed by me, but I did have my friend help me seal the envelopes. My friend Audrey helped me out with that. This has got to be the ugliest.
Fun. Are
one,
you
though.
trying to kill her like Marge Simpson or whatever. There was like a Simpsons episode where someone
No.
licked a bunch of.
No,
Blew
you're thinking
up.
that's Seinfeld. That's Seinfeld.
It's Seinfeld. It was Seinfeld. It wasn't Simpsons. It
Oh,
was
'cause
totally
it's supposed to be
Seinfeld.
poisonous. No, these days they got just
George's
peel off.
fiance.
All right, so
Was
you
licking
don't
the
have anything.
envelopes.
This girl's safe. She's good.
She's
licking the
safe. There's no
envelopes.
murder plot. But yeah, I do not have I actually went to occupational therapy when I was a kid because I couldn't write, and they put me in handwriting therapy for like
Well,
2
I can
years.
see why.
Yeah, it didn't work. It didn't take. I
Hey, I'm
guess.
glad that people who have problems with handwriting can lead extraordinary careers.
True. And I'm left-handed, so that's another strike against me. That's how that smudge happened.
I love left-handed people. I think
Scream
they're
said
better.
before I even said that, Scream in the chat said, "Are you sure you're left-handed?" Yeah, maybe I should try my right hand. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, well, honestly, with that kind of signature, you might get a better result out of your
It's
right
possible.
hand.
It could nowhere to
It
go but
really
up.
honestly is. So I don't
Um,
know what to say. I can't believe you're as good as video games as you are. That doesn't make any sense.
That's where all the hand-eye coordination went into controllers and
it's
not.
straight up like you
script.
sucked it all out of penmanship. You were like, everything goes here.
I was
You
dog shit.
programmed
at,
your brain. You were like, no.
I remember trying to play Brain Age for the Nintendo DS, and it just could not tell what my numbers were. It was
Oh,
like,
that
that's not a
sucks.
fucking 4. What is
All right.
that?
So we were
I've
trying
never
to
tried-
weed
I've
out
never
of you.
tried writing small though. Like I've had handwriting problems. The one things I get around
can't
is
let 'em
writing
go.
much smaller.
I should just do like a really tiny signature, just so faint that you
Oh
can't
my
even.
God. You should
That might be the
stamp it.
move.
If you start putting your honko
Yep.
on it because you have a honko, and you start just honkoing that shit. Do you know what a honko is?
No, I'm googling it.
Okay, a honko is the
Oh, like a
the
stamp.
official. It's an official stamp you get
Like a
with your
seal.
bank, and you have your real name on it, and you can make it, and that you have to have a honko crafter craft you this piece of shit.
I
It's
should do that
made
next
of
time I'm in
wood. I have
Japan.
one, and you stamp that shit when you're spending money, and it's big money when you do that, and you also like government documents and shit like that.
Mm.
So you need one if you're gonna live there. You will get one. When you do that, once you've fucking done that, you need to fucking honko that shit and send that out. That'll be hilarious.
That would be easier.
It would be way easier too. But
Damn.
boy, also cool as well because that's your real ass honko if you did that. So
That would be fun.
anyway, we were trying to pry into you before I need it. I can't let you go. I
Yes.
want to let you go because we have a big show today. But
Yeah.
I can't do it until you tell me what's on the fire. What's
So
cooking?
I don't normally talk about videos I'm working on in advance ever. I kind of keep them secret and like to
32
blindside
viewers
people.
will
Very
know.
cryptic.
It will be
Use
32.
really cryptic.
This is
Give
gonna
a
be
sentence, but it's
it's
like
gonna be
use
big
every other
league.
word, so no one
big
knows who
league
you're
among
talking
the 1.25 million.
For the
They're
real-
gonna
the
get
real
the
heads.
32.
The real
about. Talking
thing.
an anagram.
Okay. This video is about a very valuable object that I had that was stolen. And my journey to try and get it back.
Oh, it was
Interesting.
stolen. And
It was
does
stolen.
and it brings you back to Japan again. Because you already gave me that. You did.
Well,
I'm a
the
journalist
video's
too.
already filmed, so it's not necessarily doesn't necessarily take place in Japan. I try to space out the Japan
You
shit. I don't
flew
want.
to Japan for the story. You already
I
let
flew
that go.
somewhere. I
You
flew
to
somewhere.
Japan. You said you flew to Japan. You did.
Not for this video, but
You didn't?
no.
Okay, then I just fucking misunderstood you like a twat.
But I did fly somewhere for this video.
All right. Well, this will be interesting. But you're
Yeah.
also flying to Japan recently too, right?
Yeah, I'm going in October.
Oh, soon. Yeah,
I-
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Not for this one. That's the next one.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
And
in
I've
Japan?
got a new technique that I'm excited about, which is I've had so many mixed to bad experiences with like Airbnb in Japan that on my Japanese friends' advice, they were like, you should just find an apartment and rent an apartment for the duration of your stay. And that's what I did this time. So I'm gonna have an actual home in Japan
That's good.
for
And how
at
long
least
will
a
you
month.
be there? 3 weeks? A month? A month?
a month,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
You're gonna be there a long time. You need to learn Japanese, dude. You can't mess around anymore.
I'm gonna go
just
full
gotta-
immersion. I'm
you just
not
gotta-
talking to any of my Western friends while I'm
Well,
there.
you
I'm
need to
just-
get taught though. So do what you need to do. Either mine or someone else's. I don't care
I
how
will.
you do
I'll
it.
use a
It
combo.
doesn't matter
I'll
how it happens. I
get a
won't be
tutor
insulted.
and then watch Nama
Just
Sensei videos
get it done
in
because
between.
it does need to happen. And if you can understand Japanese grammar enough to gain vocabulary as you live there, it's enough. I guarantee it's enough. All I had when I got to Japan was Nama Sensei's Japanese videos. And at that point, I got bigger and better. But really,
It's a great starting point, you're saying.
exactly, I had no trouble. I was able to talk to people, and they could explain new things to me, and I learned them. That's all.
You had your
takes.
own videos to teach you how to speak Japanese?
No, I didn't. I had
You'd-
Hoi Sensei. I had Masako Hoi, who I copied
Oh, boy,
every
Sensei.
single bit of that curriculum from. I copied it from a true master.
You
and-
stole content from someone else?
No, I learned it. I totally absorbed it. She was a perfect teacher. That is, if you get 100% of what if your student gets 100% of what you give them, that's the greatest honor as a teacher you can have.
It's a high praise.
It's really good, and she
100%
definitely
the
doesn't
bitch.
have a problem with it. The point is, though, that I took it and I used it because it works. It works perfectly. There's nothing wrong with it. It's dead ass logical, and I couldn't go away from it. So this second video, you can't give me any more deets about what's going on at all?
I think I gave a pretty good one, but I think the surprise of it is a big part of the fun. And
I understand about that.
yeah, I think the recovering a stolen thing is a new type of journey. It's a little more fraught and a little scarier than anything I've done before for a video, and I think that should be a fun tease, hopefully.
Cool. All right, Nick. Well, it's been a fucking pleasure having you on the program, and
Dude,
we're
thanks for
gonna.
having me.
Everybody loved it. It's awesome, and thank you so
There
much
might
for
be
being
one
on
guy
it.
who didn't love it. There might be
And,
one guy who
uh,
hated it.
We're gonna go ahead and let you off here, and I hope that your 2 new videos are fucking fantastic. You know I'll be watching, and you better
Thank you,
next
dog.
time actually sign your fucking signature on my.
I'll next time I'm in your area, I'm just gonna hand deliver one of these less worse ones to you.
You can come over anytime. You can actually sit right next to me at the same desk.
Wow, there's
Anytime
room
you
for
want.
2?
There's
Can I
room
reach
for
into the
2.
beer bowl?
I guarantee
Yeah.
you could reach into the beer bowl.
No, the beer bowl's on his lap.
I
He's
promise
fully
you.
on his
heard-
crotch
I-
with
You
it.
want to come?
I
You're
heard that
coming
Jeremy
here.
cut a hole in the bottom of the beer bowl, though.
That's a promise. You
That's
got
a
it.
leaking problem. That's gonna leak right down into his crotch.
I also have lovely and flexible time off that I can take anytime. So
Sick.
make it happen. And
Hell yeah!
that
I'll
will
let you know
happen.
when I'm on the East Coast next time.
Sick. All right. Nick, thank you for being on the program. We're going to go back to the center stage here.
All right. Good to
Dope.
talk to you again. Let's spelunky again sometime.
Yeah, we should play Spelunky again. I've
We
been
really
playing
should.
a lot of that arena mode and having a good time.
Yeah, it was fun playing games with you too, for sure.
Yeah, anytime, y'all. I as soon as I saw y'all launch this show, I was like, I would love to be involved, and I was really
I totally
stoked
thought
that
you
asked.
were waking up in the morning in Japan. I was like, oh shit, he's waking up pretty early for this motherfucker.
Nah, this was perfect timing. I still got my whole rest of my evening left.
All right.
Bye,
Thank
bye,
you,
Jeremy.
sir.
Bye, bye, Binge.
All right. See
Peace,
ya.
y'all.
All right. We're back on the Discord where we will unmute our mics. Here's the funniest part of the program where Byte doesn't unmute his fucking Discord mic like we talked about. He'd fucking do the. Byte, you dumb motherfucker! Unmute your Discord mic. Unmute your Discord mic.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, there you go.
Jeez.
Jesus Christ.
My
All right.
God. Calm down.
I know you were starstruck, just like chat is inferring. Let's get that chat back on that box where it belongs.
I'm gonna give. Skype is asking me how many stars I want to rate the call with Nick. I'm gonna rate it 2 stars.
Oh, Jesus, that's pretty rough. It
2
was a good
stars.
call. That shit
Oh,
went
my
right on Twitch. I'd have given that shit 5 stars for sure. Don't
the other
fucking
side-
2-star the Skype call.
No,
They're
well,
just
hold
gonna
on, hold
fuck
on.
us over.
No, I'm gonna
Why
put-
would you do this?
But it gives me an option for video issues. I'm gonna say the other side was too dark. That's what I'm gonna say.
It wasn't. It was fucking
2 out of 5.
perfect.
2 out of
That
5.
actually worked. I can't even
It did.
believe it.
But
I
I'm gonna
can't
say
even
the other.
believe it.
I'm gonna say it. I mean, first off, it's going to Bill Gates. Who cares? I'm gonna say the other side was too dark on video issues. On audio issues, I'm gonna say I heard noise in the call, which I did. Right? I heard noise.
Your noise, yeah.
I know, but I'm sending that right to Bill Gates right now. I'm sending it to him. Although Bill Gates doesn't pay attention to what Microsoft's doing anymore, does he?
All right, so our next piece of news right here is that good old Joe Biden walked into a flag and then apparently snubbed the
Yeah, let me get a drink.
president of Brazil. Yeah, I actually don't have drinks either, even though I look at my fucking beer tub. Look what happened to it. It's fucking gone. It's all gone. I drank all that shit. But anyway, while he's gone, I'll explain this fucking catastrophe here. Joe Biden smashed himself into a flag, and then he did not shake the president of Brazil's hand, which pissed him off visibly. So we're gonna watch this video and comment on it, but we have to wait for this lightweight to get back. Actually, he's not a lightweight because he's out of beer, just like I am. So I can't really accuse him of that. I should, but I didn't. So we're going to look at this video together, everyone, obviously. I'll clear the chat off of it as soon as I put it on there. And then we'll determine whether or not this was really such a big problem or what this means, you know, to the world today, because it happened, obviously, this week. The worst part, and this is unbelievable, but I drank all the beers in the beer bowl. So I need to go get beer too. And I can go ahead and at least give myself the whole stage for the moment while he's not here. But I don't have a lot to say about this without seeing it first, because there's a video on it. So let's just think about. I'm just going to talk about old people for a second, because Biden is old, and honestly, Trump is old, and McConnell is old. And these people are not just old, but they are failing, all right? They're failing like a unit on the line, all right, in the assembly line, right? They're going down the line, and you get your testing, and you make sure the unit works. Well, you know what? I think they would fail testing at this point. If there was a human testing plant that would go and be like, let's check this human. Let's see if they're all right. Are they okay? Does it work? Well, no, I'm afraid not. Yet we elected them in the most fucking powerful place that you could possibly be. And this applies to Trump too. This ain't just Biden, all right? Both these motherfuckers are missing shit. Shit's gone, all right? I'm just going to say it. There's some shit gone. And I think that everybody could probably agree. I maybe not. Maybe I'm going to alienate some motherfuckers when I say this. Maybe I am. I don't care. I might alienate them. But at some point, we need to have people running shit that have everything going on the best they have, which is not at fucking 80 years old and 70 years old. All right?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. I can't say it enough. Like, it's not just Biden, it's Trump too. They're fucked. Why are we doing this? If you're gonna have an incompetent motherfucker in there, at least put a young incompetent motherfucker in there so that they don't have trouble fucking walking and shit or figuring out what fucking direction they're going. Like, these motherfuckers are old as shit, and I'm sorry, it's unacceptable. We deserve better than this shit. We really deserve better than both of these motherfuckers. We really do. We're gonna watch this video of this guy, and he's not really doing that much wrong, other than smashing himself into a flag and forgetting to shake someone's hand. But it's still, he didn't do it because he didn't want to fucking shake his hand. He has nothing against Brazil. Americans have nothing against Brazil. I'll say it right here. All right, it's because
I don't know, some of their beaches are really dirty. I've been to it.
I mean, well, whatever. So are ours. Have you ever been to Florida Panhandle? That motherfucker's so full of kelp and fucking plastic.
Brazil has some dirty
kelp
beaches.
plastic sandwich from Florida. I mean, come on. Seriously, don't don't knock Brazil for the fucking beach. We
Oh,
have some of the
am I
shittiest beaches
beach
I've ever
shaming
seen.
Brazil?
I'm
Is
just
that
saying
what
I've
is
seen some
happening?
shitty beaches. I've seen beaches from LA. They're shitty.
It was really dirty, okay? I was there.
It was so dirty in LA and it was so dirty in the Florida Panhandle. It was the same. I guarantee there was just as much plastic in the seaweed as there was where you were. I bet you the color of the water was just as brown and had just as filmy as shit on the top of it. Because that's what it was like in America, on American beaches. And that's bullshit, and I saw it with my eyes.
In America.
I know that shit is fucked up all over the place. It's not just fucking Brazil. It ain't fair to Brazil. All right, this is actually our bad
Where's
here,
the
but we
video?
just got this fucking geriatric
Wait, you
motherfucker
gotta
in here.
remove the text though. You don't. I got the
I'm
text
going
on, you
to.
can't see it.
I will when we do the video. This is just his
I'm just-
stupid
I'm just
picture.
trying-
I don't
I'm
care.
just trying to-
We're gonna
I'm trying to. Okay, go
we're
ahead.
gonna do a video, man. All right, just fucking chill out. All right.
No, I shall not. You don't bring me on here to chill out. Is that what you bring me on here
No,
for?
I don't. I bring you on here to freak out like a bitch. All right.
I don't think you needed that last part of the sentence.
Well, I mean, that's just the truth. All right. So hold on. Let's get the video feed going. All right, that's messed up, but we'll just do it real quick.
Oh my god, is he gonna hit the text over on top of the video? He is, isn't he? He doesn't-
Nope,
yeah, he is.
I'm not gonna put
he
the
is.
text
He's
on
gonna
top
fuck
of
it
the
up.
video. I'm
He's gonna
very
fuck it up.
surprised.
He's gonna fuck it all up.
I'm not fucking it up. It's gonna be fine. All right, let's put this video on and see what happens.
The President of the United States.
Oh man, look, he made the text go away.
Of the Federative Republic of Brazil, accompanied by the Director General.
All right, there he
of
hits the
International Labor
fucking flagpole
Organization.
there. He's coming in. All right, so let's check this out. Everybody's clapping and shit. There's the president of Brazil. He tried to shake his hand, but he didn't give it to him. He didn't give it to him. All right, now we're going to the next one.
Gentleman from North Carolina.
That was it? What that was the poll thing?
That's not the whole thing. There's a second part. There's a second part. All right, here it comes.
They want to see the flagpole hit again because you really built it up.
What?
Man, look, Babylonians asking for it.
All right, we'll show that again. We'll show it again, but let's show this part. This is the part where he's leaving the meeting and does not shake this guy's hand and he gets pissed off. All right, so let's watch that. He already tried to shake his hand in the first one, and we will watch it again. But let's watch this one here and see what happens.
They want it in slow-mo.
Slow-mo, I might be able to even do that, actually. Although my resolution got changed on this TV. Alright, we'll watch it one more time here. See how he's pissed off? Look at him. Do you see him swing his hand like that? Let's watch that hand swing one more time.
What? What do we have? What is happening?
All right. Let me try to. You can see my mouse here. You can see it. This is the president of Brazil. He doesn't look too happy. This is Biden walking off like a chump. Watch him slap his chest like a Kong, like a fucking OG. Watch him. Boom. Oh. He slapped that shit. He was just like, fuck you. I don't need to shake your hand. I tried at the beginning. I tried at the end. Couldn't shake your hand. All right. So let's go back to the first one. All right. So hold on. Let me put the first one on again. It'll be too long. Put this motherfucker back here.
The President of the
What are you trying to show us here?
We're going to replay the beginning where he hits the flagpole because it's not very clear when it happens. All right. So everybody pay attention. Okay? Here it is. Here's this video of the fucking flagpole hit. Maybe I can make it a little bigger. Just to make it easier to fucking see, even though it's dumb looking. No.
What the
I-
fuck? The
I
video's
ain't doing
floating
that.
around my head.
It looks stupid. Alright, let's go.
The President of the United States and the President of the Federative Republic of Brazil.
What, your face?
Here he comes. He's going to hit the flagpole. There it is. He looks at it. He does a little jog. And then he comes
So
up on
what?
there.
Why? What the
Everybody
fuck?
claps for his ass. Now watch the Brazilian president, okay? Watch. And he shakes this other guy's hand. I don't even know who he is. And
Maybe
There.
he thought that was the guy.
Thank you.
so no one wanted to shake anybody's hands, and it was a fucking mess.
Chair recognizes
So
gentleman from North Carolina.
He didn't
nobody
notice it,
wants
so
to
what?
see the gentleman from North Carolina.
This is
So
fake news from bum number one.
how is that
fake
fake?
news.
All right, tell me. Explain your premise here.
Not
of
that
why
was a
that's fake news.
non-story. Nothing
How is that a
happened.
non-story? He hit a flagpole and he didn't shake that motherfucker's hand.
He barely touched the flagpole with his arm, and then didn't notice a guy extend his hand for a shake. What the fuck kind of a news story is that?
He was clearly pissed off. He did this shit.
All right, what shit?
He slapped his fucking chest like a fucking Kong. Like a.
That's cause
And I'm not talking about Viet Cong. I'm talking motherfucking Donkey Kong. Funky Kong, you know? Fucking Kongs. The guy was pissed
knows?
off.
who knows what's going on in Brazil?
I didn't say you did. That's not what I'm asking. You said that shit was totally fine and that I was doing fake news. I'm saying that I showed you video and I interpreted that video. Where is it fake? What's fake about the video?
It's not fake. It's just the idea that that's an
It's not
issue that he
fake.
touched the flag with his arm, didn't notice a guy extending his hand for a shake. That's the whole story.
Twice. 2 times he didn't notice the shake. And pissed him off. So there's
First
the
off,
third point.
Biden is.
Do
a
you
shuffle
deny
guy.
he was pissed off?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying.
I'm putting the
story
chat
failed.
box on again, obviously, because now it's time. You got a flag wobble. That's what happened. He was definitely startled by it. You could see his reaction to it. And then he jogged like this a little bit. That's not that big a deal. But he didn't shake the guy's hand
what that
either.
is? You know all that is?
This
I can
is
explain
news,
this.
though. This is
I can
breaking.
explain
This is breaking
So
shit
what
right
happens
here.
is that you have the flag coming down, right? But then you have the base of the flag, which is like a little bit wider. So he probably stepped on the base of the flag, leaned slightly toward the flag as he did it, and wobbled
Okay,
it.
so
Who
say he
cares?
did that. So say he did that. All right. Why didn't he shake this guy's hand who wanted to shake his hand
He
so
didn't notice
badly?
it.
He didn't notice it. Do you know why? Is he a geriatric? That's why.
Because he's looking at his teleprompter.
He was.
Of course he's fucking geriatric. Everyone knows that.
He's a fucking crypt keeper. He's a crypt keeper. He's like he's basically gonna be Bob Barker pretty soon, except for Bob Barker was awesome. That's the
I still
fucking
wonder-
situation here. It's what's going
I
on.
mean,
Bob Barker had the fucking grace to retire. This motherfucker like went into the highest position possible. It's not
It's still-
okay. And Trump isn't okay either. That shit's
I mean,
fucked.
I mean, it's kind of incredible to me that someone who obviously is having like developmental cognitive disabilities or deterioration, I should say.
I would
not
just
just a
say he's
little.
old as shit. I really don't want to go into whether he has an actual condition because that doesn't matter. It doesn't. We shouldn't have geriatrics in office. We shouldn't do it. There's a limit to how young you can be. That's fucked. It's 35 or something. Why isn't there a fucking limit to how old you can be? You can have a 100-year-old motherfucker on life support in that bitch. That's fucked up. Right?
Interesting point. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I've never thought about that. Have
It's true. There's no law. It's fucked. We could
An
get
age
some
limit.
mother. We could wheel the president out if we wanted to. The
I mean,
only
we've
way,
had-
the only protections in the Constitution where the fucking staff can say we can't do it anymore. But if the staff's in on it, we're fucked. Right?
Well, that's happened before. We've had a president incapacitated before.
Like Fallout. Yes, like Fallout New Vegas. Someone on the chat knows what the fuck's up here. They get it. It's like fucking House.
There was a president. Oh my! I mean, I'm not missing. I can't remember who it was, but basically, we had a president who was like incapacitated for like several months before he died, and his wife just basically was like, this is what the president wants," and he was like completely not talking, just like literally dying in bed.
We should have
for
shit
several months.
to fucking deal with this. We're fucking. Do you know what time it is? It's 2023, motherfuckers. We got AI and shit. We need to fucking like get a grasp on shit and fix our problems. We have problems. We need to fix them. We're all alive. We can do it. We can
Yeah.
make that happen.
Yeah,
There's something wrong.
Scout's saying, can the president be in a coma? Like, the thing is, if he was
Yes,
in a
the
coma,
president can be in a coma.
because they'd keep it from you. They keep
The
it
vice
from you,
president
public.
takes responsibility when the president's in a coma. There's a
Yeah, but
situation
they wouldn't
for
tell
that.
you. The thing is, they wouldn't even tell you.
So
They'd just be
Kamala
like, "Oh."
Harris would be president in a coma situation. She is younger, so that's at least that.
No, there'd be some
but
person.
but it's her though, so you end up with that too. It would be better than geriatrics.
You know what I know about Kamala
But we
Harris?
didn't vote for. We did vote for Kamala, but we didn't really vote for Kamala. That's
Do you
the
know
thing.
do you know what I know about Kamala Harris?
No, what do you know?
She loves Venn diagrams and school buses.
She does love school buses. I know that. I don't know about the Venn diagrams. I don't even know what
Talked
that
about Venn I just love a Venn diagram. She's talked about it. She has a weird public speaking habits or like way of speaking.
I'm less informed, unfortunately. But that's because she's not the president of the United States yet. But she's one fucking breath away from that. And so is anyone that any other geriatric chooses as vice president. So you are voting for both in this country because that's how we do it, apparently. Bitch, I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Anyway, that's that story. Let's go on to the next story that we have.
More stories.
Unbelievably, the United States government has lost in a mishap, and we all know about this. A mishap. An F-35 aircraft was lost. What happened is, in some bad weather, this F-35 pilot had to eject because the aircraft was no longer operable, and he decided, or she, I don't even know if the gender of the pilot, so it could have been a girl. We don't know the name.
90% chance it's a male. I mean, come on.
I don't care. It's still not 100%
90% chance.
That doesn't mean I'm gonna just say
I'm
it.
gonna Google this.
You can't. They don't have. That's not. It's classified, dude. Go Google
what-
up. Google it up.
What?
Google it up.
percent?
All right. This is the place of truth here. If you find the truth, we'll fucking put it on there. But right now we don't know. But what I do know is that this was somewhere around South Carolina.
95.2%. 95.2%.
All right, so that we have to
You look at
consider. We have to also
Zippia.com.
consider that females it could have been a female. And in fact, if you're a misogynist, you would actually increase
Which
that
I
percentage.
am.
So you could increase
Wait,
that
wait, what-
percentage
what did
by
you say?
whatever amount you think that females would crash
You
the
said
plane more
misog-
likely.
You
So
said if I'm a
I disagree
misogynist.
with that, of course, 100%.
Wait,
but
were you
you could
asking
do
if
that.
I'm a misogynist?
You said
I'm
you
a
were a
misogynist.
misogynist. You said which I
no,
am.
No, I give massages.
Misogynist, not a massagist.
No, I'm a massage therapist.
Okay. You misunderstood me when I said misogynist. So you're not a misogynist. So
yeah,
you
I got
agree
confused.
that
I'm
this
sorry.
pilot could have been a woman and that I should have qualified.
Well, the chances are less than 5%.
It doesn't matter. If it's any percent, you should qualify it.
Is
Right?
it not in the news article?
Why
you're
shouldn't you?
referencing
Why
here?
wouldn't you qualify it? From a factual basis. I just being factual, It's nothing fucking personal. Just being factual. So it could have been a girl. The point is, we don't know because it's classified. And they lost this thing for like 2 days, all right? Why didn't they slap a motherfucking air tag on that bitch? They could have slapped that motherfucker right on the tail. It would have been a done deal. Those shit don't fucking die. It wouldn't have blown up. Like, don't they have radar on the United States fucking continental area to look? I think there's a lot of civilian fucking air radar. You'd have known where this motherfucker was going. Why couldn't they see it? Because it was an F-35. It's a motherfucking stealth fighter. So none of the fucking air radar could see their motherfucking ass, right? So that motherfucker was lost. It was lost because it was a fucking stealth fighter. But they didn't fucking even think to track their own shit. So this is the fucking crazy part, right? Though, here, listen to me about this, all right? Again, not reported, but we
I'll
report
try to
report
listen.
truth here, all right? Don't you think that this motherfucker had a self-destruct device in the motherfucker, and that they were maybe even testing it in their own airspace? Do you think that they crashed this motherfucker in a forest on purpose so that they could see whether or not anyone could get anything from it that was valuable? And that that's what this motherfucker was? It was just a test? And that the mishap and this unnamed pilot actually was performing the mission as fucking designated? What do you think about that? Or do you think I'm off base on this fucking theory?
First off, you're supposed to flash the shrimp shit. Everyone's very adamant about it.
Oh, Jesus.
Second,
I'm sorry about the shrimp shit, but we can't do
Second,
it.
yeah, you can't. Sorry, you
I
guys don't-
I
you
actually
just
was on my
wasted
list
it.
today, but God, there was so much to do. I had to make a whole nother studio for a guest. I'm sorry, I'm a bitch, but I don't have shrimp shit for you. I apologize.
Well, my understanding is on a covert ops mission, I mean, the government just can launch a fucking missile from a fucking aircraft carrier or destroyer or whatever and blow up any goddamn airplane in the sky they want to. So if they wanted to really erase the existence of this plane where it was flying over, they could have done it. But I think the military is very, hesitant to destroy a human being who's a military officer. So I don't know. I think it's allowed them to eject. They couldn't. Did they recover any of this? Was it crashed? Because they crashed in their own country, right?
They crashed
they
in their own
crash?
country, yeah. And they
Yeah,
found
so
a
yeah,
debris
yeah.
field. They found a debris field with nothing there.
So if what I'm trying to say is, if this happened over a different country, they would have just blown that aircraft out of the sky. They
Well,
would
of course they would have, but the thing is, if it crash lands, it would also blow itself up. It seems that's what I think.
Yeah,
One of the
yeah,
features
but
of
a
this
missile-
aircraft is.
a
I think
missile's
that
gonna do a
feature
better-
has been demonstrated here. I think that's what's happened. I that's what I think. I came from a military background of being a military child. I had an aviator as a father. That was his job. And one of the things that the military is really concerned about is protecting secret technology, especially given the amount of times it's been stolen in the past. It's a ton of times. So it makes sense to me that we would crash this on our own soil to see whether or not it disposed of itself properly, whether the press could get a hold of it or not. It does. It seems like none of the FAA got it at all. And it also seems that no one was able to find anything discernible in the wreckage, even though it was ejected on autopilot. And I don't think anyone's asking this question, and they need to be doing it. Not that it matters that we out this, but it seems like that's what they've done here. What do you think? Do you think I'm off base or not? That's my question.
Well, I noticed it says OT on the wing. That means overtime. So who was flying overtime? He ran out of fuel. That's why he exploded.
He didn't. No, he didn't explode. No, he went. It was in a storm. No, this is documented. Okay, this guy was in a storm and ejected from the aircraft, and it was on autopilot for several hours and crashed far out.
Well, that's the issue, the autopilot, right?
You think the autopilot is the issue, or is that a good thing? I mean, the thing is, there's nothing left. There's nothing discernible in the wreckage.
Hey, you heard of the Malaysian flight? Whatever, 72 or
Yeah,
whatever it was.
definitely. Of course I have. Yeah.
It disappeared.
Yeah.
So that guy definitely crashed that airplane, right? On purpose?
Yes, I think that airplane crashed. Yes.
Because the pilot wanted it to crash, right?
I'm not sure why, but yes, I'm sure it crashed.
So I'm just saying, like, maybe this guy wanted to crash it.
Well, if he wanted to crash it, he crashed it in a way where he didn't crash it. The autopilot crashed it.
Why do you say that?
Because when he ejected, the aircraft continued for several hundred miles. That's why.
Well, maybe that's because the military has an override system that the pilot on the Malaysian air flight didn't have, right? There's no way to have a remote control take over your flight when it sees that you're diverting for your flight path in this extreme way, and a remote.
Think about it, okay?
to
The
take
military
over.
has a thing that this aircraft does when it has an eject happen, okay? So it
right.
did that.
Tell me.
That eject happened, and the plane kept flying, all right? We can say that from the data. The data shows the ejection point and where that guy was recovered, and the point where the plane crashed, and it was a long way away. So we know that the eject function in the F-35 does not affect the autopilot. Or if it does affect the autopilot, it doesn't affect the fuel usage or the throttle or anything else that's going on in the aircraft because it went for a long way. The pilot reported, and so did the military, that the autopilot was on. And obviously, the crash site indicates where it was. The debris field is there. There are pieces of F-35, but there's not much. There's not much there. So there's something in that aircraft going on more than meets the eye. Obviously, from a detection standpoint
So you
and a
think it
crash
has
standpoint.
self-destruct
Yes, I
technology?
think it's like Get Smart. I think it's like the fucking messages in
Bum,
Inspector Gadget.
ba-dum, bum, ba-dum,
Yeah,
bum,
exactly.
ba-dum,
I think
bum,
Don Adams
ba-dum, bum,
flew that
ba-dum,
airplane.
ba-dum, ba-ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum,
He
ba-dum,
rose
bum,
right out of the
ba-dum,
fucking
bum,
grave and sat in that
ba-ba-dum,
seat.
bum, ba-dum, bum. Agent 99?
Yes. Anyway, the point
I
is,
made all the references.
you did. You made all the references. You know what I'm talking about. So you haven't answered my question, and then we'll move on to the next story. But I just want you. Do you think I'm going the right direction? Do you agree with me or not? That's simple. And you can be contrarian if you like, or you can just decide that I'm right about this. It's up to you. I want to hear your take.
It's hard to crash a plane without any debris. I don't know the details of the crash. I've heard about this
There
happening.
was debris. There was not much though.
So you think there was a sort of like explosive device embedded in the aerial craft that would detonate in the event of a incident such as this, which would prevent it from creating a significant debris for the field where people could extract the contents. The thing is, the government. What doesn't make sense about that to me, and I'm gonna say this, which is the government has control in the United States. So if there's a debris field, they can extract, get some of the elements back, some of the expensive components. So why would you activate a self-destruct if it's flying over its own territory? That doesn't make any sense to me. Because there's expensive elements in that. What it costs, like $300+ million. Am I right?
Yeah, it costs a lot of money.
So why would you activate a self-destruct when it's over your own territory where you have jurisdiction, where you could send in a police force to create a perimeter and extract those components? That makes sense over Iraq, what you're talking about. Makes sense over Afghanistan, North Korea, Russia. It doesn't make any sense here because they have jurisdiction. They could create a perimeter, make sure no one gets the
Right, but
components.
wouldn't they install the same systems on the aircraft that they intend to deploy overseas?
But why? Okay, but why activate it? If you could,
You would always activate it. It's activated always.
No, but
it's
why?
a secret aircraft.
You
because
own
it's a
you
secret
own the
aircraft.
territory.
They're probably
But
testing it here.
But-
That's what I
but
think.
you
I think they're testing
create
it.
the perimeter. You could extract the components, the $300 million worth of components.
Well, maybe they did fuck up. All right.
reused.
Well, okay. All right. I hear you. All right. Maybe they did fuck up. Maybe this is a true mishap. Maybe that storm really caused the problem. I still think the system is installed in the aircraft and it's active all the time. That's what I think. And I'm the first person I think that's saying that as a news reporter, if you would. I'll give myself that title at this point. I've been doing it for a month, so I'll say I'm a news reporter, and I have this opinion about this. That's all. Do you have this opinion about this? Do you think there's a self-destruct device in the aircraft or not? That's my question.
there
Then
is-
we'll move on.
If there is, it doesn't make any sense to activate over American territory.
All right,
Because you have
that's
control.
your position.
Because you have control. You could create a perimeter around it, extract the contents of a $300 million fucking piece of equipment. Why would you want to blow it up? It doesn't make any sense.
There's nothing
That's-
extractable in an air crash, and you know this.
Yeah, there is.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
there is.
nothing,
there is.
speaking of
Black
nothing,
box,
speaking of nothing
information.
recoverable, all right. The next story is about the Ukrainian government who has launched some aerial missile attacks that have actually disabled a submarine. This is a photograph of said submarine here. There are also several satellite photos of this available as well that I will not be showing. But what we're looking at is a Kilo class submarine that was docked at a port, was damaged to the point where it can no longer be serviceable. So any missiles on there will have to be pulled off of there if they're even usable. And that submarine is not going out to sea anymore. What are your thoughts on this situation? Do you think we're going to see more of the Black Sea Fleet disabled? Do you think the Black Sea Fleet will be destroyed? What are your thoughts?
I don't understand the story. So what am I looking at?
You're looking at a picture of a Russian Kilo class submarine that has a hole in it from a missile strike from Ukraine. And there are also several aerial photographs of this as well. This damage.
That looks like a torpedo strike. That doesn't
No,
look
it
like a
does
missile.
not. It definitely does not look like a torpedo strike. First of all, it's on land, clearly docked. That's the first indication that it's not a torpedo strike. The second thing that indicates it's not a torpedo strike is it's not at the water line, which is at this point very much nothing. So unless
It
they
looks like it's
towed
at
it,
the water
you
line to
can't tow
me.
a submarine back to port like this. This was a port attack. It was in port when this happened. This was a
Like a
missile
Pearl
strike,
Harbor.
which is very
Like a
unusual.
Pearl Harbor attack.
It's a little bit like that, but it was with a missile instead of a bunch of uh, ships and aircraft. And it wasn't a surprise attack because they were
I'm just
already at
saying.
war for a year. So the Pearl Harbor attack was literally the first act of war by Japan at that time, and this was not the first act of war by any stretch of the imagination. So I don't think that comparison is valid.
No, but I'm still. You mentioned what I was talking about, which is the water line. That strike on the hull of the ship does not look like an aerial strike.
It doesn't, but it is
Okay,
because it
I'm
was
just
in
saying.
it was docked at the time, and there again are several photos of this. So this may or may not be the most valid photo in the world, but this ship is done. There is one submarine in the Black Sea Fleet that was in port that is no longer in operation at this time from a very unusual attack which involved a missile instead of a torpedo. That's the story. That's what the story is. And whether or not it really truly was a missile attack or whether they towed this thing from the bottom of the ocean back up onto a dry dock for some reason
So,
is
so have
up
you heard about
for debate,
this?
obviously.
This reminds me of a famous story that was, I guess, reported upon recently, which is that there was a bunch of drones that were going to do kamikaze attacks on Russian ships, and I heard that I have no idea if it's a lie or if it's valid, but Elon Musk disabled their Skylink or Starlink capabilities because he saw that they were doing a strike on a bunch of Russian military ships and that he interrupted their internet on purpose.
That I think actually may have happened.
So you've heard that story?
I have. Let's hold on a second.
I mean, that's a good story, right?
It is. It's a very good story. I have definitely heard it. And I think that I have someone on the line that may want to hear about that.
All right, we have a phone call going through, right? Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's still it's still ringing. It's still ringing. No, it's still ringing. Okay. We're done ringing. Now you've picked up the phone, sir. Thank you for answering this call on the Bum Number One Dumpster Talk show.
Hello.
So, yeah, yeah. I was waiting for you to.
It's me, Elon Musk. How
Oh,
you doing?
Elon. Elon, I'm a big fan. Big fan.
I heard you had some questions about my deployment of Starlink.
Well, Elon, I heard that you had interrupted Starlink, communications for the Ukrainians who are dependent upon your internet communications network to launch a drone strike on some Russian naval vessels that were in the Crimean Sea, I believe. Is that correct?
Well, that's not exactly correct, no.
Oh, well, then please educate me. Tell me.
So, I deployed Starlink so that the Ukrainian people could have internet during the time of war. And then people started using it within the military, which makes sense. That's what they would do. But we started to realize that this data was being utilized to attack targets outside of the defensive zone. Does that make sense?
Well, I feel like any war, you have to bring your fight to the enemy, right?
Well, that's not what Starlink's for. It's for defense.
Oh, was that in the terms of agreement when the Ukrainians signed up?
Well, the Ukrainians didn't sign up. I donated the service to them. There was no
Oh.
signatory required.
Did they have to click "I agree" on "Don't attack Russian submarines in the Crimean Sea"?
So there
or
might
not?
have been a checkbox somewhere.
Okay, it's good to hear. So I've also heard you live in a tiny home. Is that
Oh,
true?
yeah. Wasting money is stupid.
How
I don't
tiny
need a lot of
exactly is
space.
Like, how many square feet is your tiny home?
200 square feet. It depends on which location. I have a lot of company headquarters.
Okay, what about in Fremont?
I'd say 200 feet square.
Okay. But you also have a facility in Texas, right?
Yeah.
So which place do you spend more time in, Texas or California?
I fly wherever I'm needed.
Oh.
I like to get hands on all the projects that I do.
So I've heard some reporting going on that you're very cozy with the Chinese government because you have manufacturing in China, right? And
I have friends all over the world. I have partners all over the world. This is a worldwide marketplace.
well, I mean, maybe you've heard this, but Kobe Bryant has gotten some criticism for sort of deflecting a lot of criticism about the Chinese government. Do you feel like since you've launched the X platform, formerly known as Twitter, which you've mentioned is the sort of the town square of communication and peer-to-peer communication, do you think it's going to conflict with your interactions with the Chinese government, who seems to be a little bit like politically sort of reining in a lot of people in terms of speaking their mind and things like that? Do you think that's going to do you think it's your ability to speak freely is inhibited by your Chinese influence?
Well, no. The Chinese government, they'll work with our companies.
Okay.
They might provide us cheap labor. They may restrict our ability to give their citizens freedom. We'll work with the Chinese government. But what we're going to do is make sure that X is a truly free platform for anyone who is able to use it, except the Chinese.
Wait, so you don't want the Chinese to use X?
But we want them to use X.
Okay.
But we're willing to work with governments to adhere to the laws.
Now, I've also heard that you plan on charging a monthly subscription for using X. Is that true?
Absolutely. In order to get
Okay.
bots off the platform, we
Oh,
have
so
to charge everyone.
is it kind of the same rationale that people pay for dating services? Because if you use free dating services, you're just going to get a bunch of whores.
No, you're going to get a bunch of bots. You're going to
Oh,
get
okay.
bots
Okay.
that redirect you to give gift cards to people. We're eliminating this. That's what you're paying for. You're being part of the town square, a legitimate town square.
Town square. Okay. Now, have you ever heard of Tiananmen Square?
I have.
That's where a man was famously run over by a tank, but we didn't see the footage. Like he was just apparently the Chinese government claimed that he was just arrested, not run over by a tank, but it's a Chinese citizen blocking some tanks from progressing toward the demonstration. Do you
X
think?
was not part of that. X had nothing to do with any of that. Tesla wasn't even in China at that point. I don't know what you're talking about. I think I have to leave. If you're trying to connect me
Well,
to Chinese scandals that have happened years before I even created the empires that I have, I don't think you need to talk to me. Goodbye.
I mean, okay, I guess that's the end of talking to Elon Musk. He's leaving. Well, I mean, it was good talking to him, though. It was very interesting to talk to the richest guy in the whole world. I mean, it was
That's pretty crazy.
what? What do you say?
That's pretty crazy.
You know, what's really interesting is that he said that's pretty crazy right before you did.
Yeah, he hung up and then I said the same shit. That's how it goes
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah,
Him and
he
I
said
think alike, you know. We're a
he said
lot
that's
alike.
pretty crazy, and then you got on the line and said that's pretty crazy directly after.
We're one of the two. Like we may have been from the same womb somehow. I don't even know. But
Masakari say, which data do I need to download? I'm asking for a friend. I'm pretty sure you got. I mean, if you want to get one where you pay, like you got to get some. No, you can't use Plenty of Fish because that's free. You're just gonna get a bunch of whores and
Byte
prostitutes.
knows
right?
about how to use online dating and actually get good results out of it. I've never used it, so the best advice you're gonna get is from him for sure.
So someone suggested onlyhorrors.com.
Well, that's not the place I would necessarily choose as the first choice. But I again know nothing. What do you think about that choice, Byte?
What? Say it again. Rephrase the question. Say it again.
Onlyhorrors.com. Do you think that's a good dating site to give a shot
Well,
to?
Let me see what happens when I type that in.
All right, here it comes. It's coming in.
Only.
Well, that's
Horrors
something. That's
dot
something. See, that's what
co.
Andrew Tate's trying to do. Masakari too. I don't know
Oh
if
my
he's going to be
God.
successful in doing that. It seems like that's what he's been.
I don't think
He's
anyone should
attempted
go.
it at least once or twice anyway. I don't know if it's successful or not.
I don't think you should. I don't think you should go to Only Horrors.
Yep, Only Horrors is getting a no from Byte Binge here. So that's a big fucking X right there. Don't use that one. Grinder's probably better for you. I mean, what do you think about Grinder, Byte?
I have never downloaded or used it. I really have not. I can't say I've done it because I haven't.
All right, so we've got something else coming up.
Hold on. I'm gonna go get a drink.
You can't do it. Stop, you dumb bitch. I haven't gotten up once. I haven't gotten up once. I haven't gotten up once. I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to you. You're gonna talk about this band director right here. I'm gonna fucking piss and get a fucking beer. God damn.
All right,
That's not
this
fair.
guy. Who is this guy? Tell me his name.
God damn it. Alright, I'll fucking give the synopsis of this motherfucker. You're gonna get a video when I come back, you dumb motherfuckers.
He's
Alright,
taking a selfie.
this is alright, this is the football team's band director for Minor High School, and his name is Johnny Mims. He's the school's band director, and he was fucking tased by the fucking police while he was conducting his band. And we've got body cam footage, so talk about
Alright,
that
go.
shit for a little bit. I'm
Okay,
going.
just go.
Shit.
So I imagine a guy, someone, sometimes you have someone who's leading a movement, right? Like MLK or Malcolm X. They're leading movements against society's, fucking bullshit, goddamn whatever, against people that aren't the color or whatever that they want. But then you have this band director. There's a band director. He's taking a selfie. He's moving his students in a way that society disapproves of, playing trumpets and trombones in a way that no one approves of. And apparently maybe they're playing a Prince song. Maybe they're playing a what is that band? Uh Outcast. Maybe they're playing an Outcast song and it just doesn't go well. It just doesn't create the right vibe. And that's when this band director is ostracized. And what is the story again? I'm going into this. I don't even remember. So he has a band. He is arrested because he's banned. I just imagine like marching your band, like take instead of like taking a mob from the street and be like, let's go to City Hall and set on fire. He's got this marching band with trumpets and shit. He's like, you know what? Instead of marching across this football field, let's go to the fucking goddamn pharmaceutical companies and tell them with our trumpets and trombones and French horns that we're not going to take their fucking shit with Oxycontin anymore. So he just like leads them up there and they're like, brr, 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 brr. And they're like, the guy's on a drum like, fuck Oxycontin. He's like, boom, 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 boom. And they're just like fucking there. And they're like just fucking playing their instruments instead of like doing a fight song against another high school or something like that. I just feel like it's like some renegade band teacher taking his band, doing some sort of like weird social movement that doesn't make any sense, but instead of using like people are like, hell no, we weren't going, they got signs, he's just taking people with French horns and like drums and xylophones, and they're like they're outside City Hall just like playing their fucking instruments.
Holy
It's like
shit.
this has got to be stopped. We got to stop whatever it is that he's working against. I don't even know what it is.
Oh my god, I just went through an experience. That was a lot of beer that I just pissed out. But more than that, we're out of beer. Kyle drank the rest. So I've now got this umeboshi right here.
Plum beer?
It's umeshu right here. It's plum wine. And it's what I'm drinking now because it's all we got left. It's a rough situation, but fucking cheers.
You'll make it.
Oh, I gotta fucking get the cap off that shit
Hey,
first.
I
I've been going at it. I have a graveyard of 5 beers right here just from the show. Oh, that smells like umeshu.
I did the best I could. I came up with a narrative knowing very little about the story.
Good job, good job. All right, let's fucking watch the videos of this here. There's one video. It's a body cam video. We're gonna watch it. You can comment during it. It's kind of long, but it's a real situation and it's pretty crazy. So
I gotta get up.
all right, go ahead. I'll talk about this a little bit. I'm sorry to you. I know you need to fucking piss too. Go get the fuck going. This is the problem with doing a show like this drunk. You get 2 hours in and you gotta piss so bad.
Drinking multiples of these.
Look at this. No, I'm not joking. Like, look under the desk. Under the desk, we've got this. This is what has been finished. That's 5 fucking beers. That's ridiculous. You gotta piss. So, well, I'm gonna talk about this guy. I know more about this motherfucker. So we'll watch the video right after. All right. So this guy's an educator, right? And what he did was he ended up coming up to an agreement, with the other school. The schools are rivals, right? So the schools have their football game and shit, and they have a bunch of shit they agree on before they do the football game, like what the band can play after they win and things of that nature. So this guy got an agreement with the other school that they would be able to play what's called the fifth quarter cheer after the fucking game was over. And that's what they were doing. They were doing what they fucking agreed to do. They were fucking playing fucking band songs. There was like 3 of them or something. And the cheerleaders were fucking cheering and shit also. Because that's what you do when you beat the shit out of them. But they were not on their home base. They were not in their own town. So the cops in that fucking town, they didn't want to deal with the fucking fifth quarter shit that they agreed to. They wanted to shut that fucking stadium down and get everybody out the fucking door. That's they wanted. I guess they wanted to go home. Like maybe they have fucking kids or some shit. I don't know what the fuck they wanted. Maybe they're sleepy. Obviously they have jobs. that they need to be doing. I don't know if their fucking shift ended and they were doing overtime at that point. They're fucking cops. They still, regardless of what their shift situation or how much abuse they're getting from the government, because it's not coming from. I mean, this is a fucking government they're punishing here. This is a school. So school is already government over all these fucking kids, controlling the shit out of them. And then you've got government on top of that controlling the shit out of all these fucking school people, including the fucking educators themselves, who are also paid by the fucking government. So this is the government attacking itself at this point here, what we're looking at in this motherfucking case. You bitch. So when you look at it, don't just think about it as this fucking dude right here that you're seeing here getting tased out the ass while he conducts his band and shit and watching this fucking kids screaming and shit and wondering whether or not that was the appropriate response by the police. That's your own opinion to a forum right there. But from a purely fucking institutional standpoint, from a logical and financial standpoint, how does this action financially affect the United States is another fucking perspective to have on the motherfucker. And it's not good. That's not a good financial impact on the United States here that the fucking police have done attacking the fucking school district. It's what's happened here. So dumb. So dumb. And worse yet that this is an external, this is outside the jurisdiction of the school district that actually is being fucking persecuted. So it's a very interesting situation. BYTE is back, so we should now be able to go to the video feed. Let's go ahead.
Oh, I'm ready.
I know, I'm ready too. I'm totally ready for this shit.
How will this affect LeBron's legacy? Says Masakari.
I do not know how this will affect LeBron. Probably not too much, I would guess. But let's go ahead and get this video onto the screen and make this chat box disappear for this moment. Bye bye chat box, and hello video feed. Oh, that's not the actual video feed again. See, we've had issues with the video feed today.
Oh, it's cut off.
Well, we're not even in the right. We're not even the right scene. So hold on.
You're on a one shot.
Let's get back. There it is. That's where it's supposed to be. All right, here we go.
Oh, I'm back into a two shot.
All right. So the game is 18 minutes ended at this point.
Is there audio?
I don't hear any audio.
I don't hear any audio either.
Yeah, I don't think there's audio. So we've got this guy's. I want the audio. God damn it. Oh, there we go. It's delayed because of the body cam footage. There's a 30-second audio delay because of the body cam footage. We do have audio. So here they are. These students are just playing their songs with the pep band and shit. And this is the fucking assistant here talking to this cop.
Why is he staring up into the sky?
He's looking up at the cop. This cop is taller than him and he's up on a stair. This is a stairway here. This is the bleachers. So this guy's gotten an authoritative position over this guy. This is the guy that actually is getting arrested here and tased. This is the last song. He says it's cool to go to jail right there.
Why do they have to go? What's the context behind it?
Well, the context is these police officers want them to leave the stadium. As you can see, there's a lot going on. All right, the lights have turned off now. All right, he stops the band, so now the band is done. The lights are off now. Everybody's happy, and because their football team is won and shit. And then some shit's about to go down here in the darkness.
Why are the police officers worried about this? I don't understand.
I don't understand either, actually. This seems like the biggest waste of money I've ever seen. I have a different perspective than a lot of people do. They're going after this guy now. Everybody's screaming. It's a very chaotic scene. He's about to get tased now. He's been warned of the tase. I may be able to fix this size issue we have here on the screen here. They're claiming he swung on someone. I didn't see it. Not on this footage. It seemed like they were going to put him in jail far before that. It seemed like they were pissed off that the football team lost, is what it seems like. Alright, here comes the fucking carnage. They just tased him, but he's still standing up. This motherfucker is conditioned, but there he goes. He's down now. They're just blasting him with that shit. Will his heart stop? Probably not.
But what do they want him to do?
They want him to go to jail, obviously.
Yeah, so they're wanting him to.
They want him to stop the music. They wanted him to stop the victory celebration, which was agreed upon by the rival school. And that's what happened here. And that's why this guy got fucking tased and arrested. In front of all these fucking high school students. That's what happened. It really happened. This is a this week shit kind of fucking deal. So, I mean, this is our cops at work against our schools, which are also like cops. It's like cop on cop shit, pretty much. I'm done with this shit. Alright, so that's the situation. What the fuck do you think about this? This is interesting. If you ask me,
it was hard
this is a
to
new
understand why their police officers were there, what they were trying to accomplish. So you're saying what they're trying to accomplish was to prevent him from having the band play?
Yes, that's what they were trying to accomplish. They were trying to stop the band from playing. That is correct. Yes, that is why that happened.
Why do they care?
Because they were the rival football team.
So
I'm going to put the chat back on here.
Okay, so they're a visiting team?
They were a visiting team, correct. Yes.
So the director of the band was told he needs to stop the music.
Correct.
But
he was
would not.
told by the police to stop, and he told them no because they had an agreement with the school. And that's ridiculous. That's what happened. Now,
Wait,
there's two kinds of people in the world. There's people where the police say stop and they'll do what they say. And there's people who, when the police say stop, say, is that a lawful order? So there are two separate sects of people. There's people who are lawware and not. And there's also people who are just clearly defiant for no reason. Regardless of whether this gentleman right here was fucking educated and understand that there needs to be a clearly lawful reason to arrest someone like that, or whether or not this person just was being defiant, the law is on this guy's side right here, because there was no reasonable, articulable suspicion of any type that this person was committing a crime at the time that he was directing his band as agreed to by the fucking other school. He's gonna get paid hard, guys. I know the law. This guy's about to get paid hard. It's going to cost that police department a shit ton of money. It's going to cost that entire fucking county money. It's going to cost the school money. It's bullshit. Why is our government fighting itself like
what
this?
I don't understand though is the music was stopped, so why was he tased?
The music was stopped because he finished too late, is what it was. They were pissed off that he didn't comply to the order, which is not a lawful order, by the way. The thing about lawful orders and unlawful orders in court, not in the field. This guy got fucked, all right, in the field. That's how it works. But in court, this guy's going to win big, big, because there was no lawful order ever fucking given to this motherfucker. Ever. No one articulated anything to him, and there was no crime being committed. So the police were way out of line, and this guy's gonna fucking, he could retire. He probably won't, because he seems like a bad. Oh, excuse me, I'm drinking plum wine. This is bad news. I'm almost done with it too. Jesus, look at this fucking plum wine. I've been drinking the shit out of it. But anyway,
Is it at least cold?
it's 11%. I don't know if it's cold.
You don't know.
12.5%.
You can't
12.
tell in the back of your.
Let's break
throat
that
when
fucking
you
fourth wall again. I don't
Swing
give a
it down
shit.
that it's cold or not.
It's not cold at all. It was in a fucking warm cabinet, but it's umeshu. You serve it warm. That's what you do.
What about your beer bucket? You had a beer bucket. Put it
It's
in your
gone.
beer
I
bucket.
drank all 5. I thought I showed
Yeah,
it.
but you still have the ice. Put it in the ice.
There's no ice left. It's totally melted. We've been
Just
on
put
the
it
air
down. It's
so
not
long.
cold water.
We've been on the air so long. Oh, I spilled it on the fucking laptop. Oh, weak. Not too much though. It's all good.
All the ice is gone.
It's
Go
all
dump
good.
out the water and get some fresh
Now,
ice.
fuck that. This is fine. What the fuck do you care about that? We're
I
talking
want
about this
that fucking
motherfucker right
plum
here.
wine to be cold as shit.
Yeah. I know, but I don't like cold plum wine. I like mine room temperature. So
Well, you're a fucking idiot.
I'm drinking it. I'm getting fucking sauced off this shit.
All right, fine. Move on to the next story. I've already called you out on your plum wine.
Yeah, that's fine. That has nothing to do with this story. All right, so the next story is about a fucking woman who I mean, this is marriage material right here. I'm just going to say it because it is. It's true. You find a woman that needs more than this, all right? It needs more than this. But this helps oh so much, right? If your girl is willing to fucking get nasty for what she wants, and what I don't mean is fucking sex. That's not what I mean at all. I mean, if she's willing to get dirty to get what she wants to get, if she ain't afraid of fucking dirt, that's a good thing. You can clock that in on the fucking list of shit that's not bad about that girl. Because if she's willing to fucking go the distance, the Shawshank Redemption, you know what I mean? Shawshank Redemption style shit to get her
Morgan
out
Freeman?
of fucking trouble. Crawl through a fucking sewage pipe, you know what I mean? If you got a girl that's that strong, You got someone. So I'm gonna start out by complimenting this bitch. That's what I need to do. I need to do it. I need to compliment her because she is marriage material from that standpoint only. I don't know anything else about her. But everything I see, I'm like, oh, that's good. That's good shit. I'd be happy. I mean, the only thing I don't see, there's one thing I don't see that's marriage material about this, and that's the fact that she didn't think her fucking situation the whole way through. Let me tell you the story. All right. So this incident happened on Tuesday at about 11 a.m. inside a lighthouse, or not in a lighthouse, an outhouse, a bathroom that obviously doesn't have flushability, no plumbing in it, and it's in Dixon Lake, Michigan. And the state police said that this woman was heard yelling from help inside the toilet. She was deep in there, deep in the crevice. And what you see right there in that fucking picture is the actual hole that this woman was in. This is the real police after the fucking thing went down. After it all went down, she was out of there, but they took these pictures. They didn't take pictures of her filthy ass getting hoisted out of there. We don't have any nappy hair pictures or anything for you because this didn't happen. But what we do have is the aftermath, and we also have an image of what she was looking for out in this situation. So, anyway, what happened is she accidentally dropped her fucking Apple Watch into the fucking toilet. Now, how did this happen? Most likely, I'm just going to be real with you because I know how fucking physics works. This woman was reaching down to wipe herself with this iWatch on her. This watch, this Apple Watch. And she reached down there and she fucking wiped her butthole off and she fucking pulled it down up the taint. And that watch got caught on something, probably a hair. I'm just being real. It was probably a hair. It could have been anything down there that this watch got caught on. But it got caught. And her wrist, it came up quick. She wasn't being slow about her wipe or whatever motion she was doing. She just pulled that up right out of there. And that fucking watch slipped right off of her wrist and dropped deep down into the fucking depths below. And it looked something like this. It was deeper, obviously. This is not a real picture. I'm just gonna be clear because
Where'd you come up with this?
we only do the truth that this is just an image recreation of the event. This is not the real deal. The last picture was real. This one is a artist's rendition by AI. We'll get into this later, but this is an artist's rendition of what it would look like from her point of view, reaching deep in to this crevice to get this Apple Watch. She got it, and then she was stuck in there. She couldn't hoist herself out of the porta potty. That's the problem here. So this is where she was, deep in there, and these cops had to come get her out of there because she couldn't. She got the watch. She got her watch back, but she needed some additional help. I'm sure she got the $500 ambulance fee at the very least of all the shit that she got. But anyway, what are your thoughts on this story?
I still don't understand. So her watch got caught on her pubic hair or got flushed
We
down
don't
the
know what it
toilet?
got caught on. I was just giving it an artist's rendition of the situation. I was very clear that we don't know what it was caught on. Something happened during the process of reaching her arm down into the toilet and coming back out where the watch fell off of her wrist. This is documented fact.
So what? Why is it a news story?
It's a news story because when she went back in for it, which means that she's a girl of value, a girl of quality, that she can endure the elements like this. This is very extreme, but the truth is, if you can fucking realize that that's not that bad and you can wash yourself off, I'm sure this woman's still alive, right? She's not filthy anymore. Like she knows more about the world than most people do. She got her watch back, but the problem was she didn't think her situation all the way through. All right, she got stuck in there. She thought she could pull herself out, wash herself off, never have the police see her in a
Wait,
toilet.
her hand got stuck in the toilet or what?
No, she got stuck in the toilet. Her physical body was entirely submerged in this toilet. She couldn't get out. She went in there to get the watch, got the watch, and could not get out. That's what happened.
What, you're saying her two shoulders
We're below the
all
line that you see there, yes. That's what I'm saying. I'm
So
saying
she's
she was
reaching-
reaching up like this.
she's reaching
She was
so
reaching up
far
like
down.
this and could not pull herself up. That is what was going on. She was reaching up like this and could not pull herself out. That's what happened.
So she's like 12 inches deep with her arms, and her shoulders surpass.
Her head
toilet
was out.
level.
Her head was out of the. I'm sorry. Her head was above the water. It was above the water. So she wasn't drowning or anything. She was able to call for help. She got help. She couldn't get out. She thought she could pull herself out of there, and she couldn't pull herself out. She didn't have the strength. That was the situation. She was ready to get dirty. She got her watch. Her watch is back. She's got it. That is not the situation here. Situation
She
is the
can't
police.
get all that out
She couldn't get out.
because her shoulders are past the fucking toilet seat.
No. It was because she couldn't pull herself up out of the water from that distance. It was too high up. It was deeper than she thought it was. That's the
So
situation.
But I assume her shoulders had to have been.
They were
past-
like right at the level of the water in the receptacle, full of shit and piss. This woman
But
was
if your
covered in it.
shoulders haven't passed the threshold, I feel like you could definitely pull yourself out no matter what. So your
No,
shoulders
there's a like 2 feet before the water hits in this latrine here. So you've got 2 feet of distance.
So her shoulders are in or not past the toilet seat.
Her shoulders no past the water line. The water line, man. We're talking about the water line. We're talking about the water line, not the toilet. So when I say that they're shoulder level, I'm talking about the water line. Her head's below the toilet seat. She can reach up to the toilet seat but can't pull herself up. That's where we're at. That's the situation.
So her shoulders are past the toilet seat, right?
Her shoulders are not past the toilet seat. No, they're not.
All right. Well, then I don't understand why she can pull herself up. I don't get it.
No, they're below the toilet seat, man. They're below. They're at the water level. Her
just
shoulders
said.
are at the water level, not
That's
at the
what I
toilet
said.
seat. You said your shoulders are at the toilet seat. They're not at the toilet
I
seat.
said
They're at the
past.
water level.
I said past the toilet seat.
They are below the toilet seat, not past.
That's what I said.
You said past, not below. We're talking
Past
about
means
above and
beyond.
below. We're talking
Past
about
means
up and
beyond.
down.
I do
Past,
not know words.
past. That
I do
sounds
not
like
know
she's
words.
almost out. It sounds like she could squeeze her way like a wiggler out of there. That's not what we're doing here. That's not what's going on.
Words are confusing to you. I'll just go on. Go
Look,
ahead.
all right. Just the point is this marriage material or not? That's the question for you.
What? What kind of question is that?
I'm just saying,
What
given
kind
what you
of
know
woman-
about this woman, is she less or more marriable because of this incident?
I mean,
Because she made a mistake, but she also did a good thing. So what is it? From your perspective, from BYTE, I want
Probably
to hear the
not.
BYTE. Not. Okay, so this has made her less marriable, according to BYTE. Interesting. I kind of agree, actually, because you really should be checking whether or not that fucking thing is deep enough for you to go in before you go in there. You should. You should think first. But I still commend her for not being afraid. Gotta do it. Gotta fucking commend that shit. So
but what it comes down to is what kind of person would risk that. That's what it comes down to. The risk to reward ratio seems low for what you get versus what you're gonna like. what bad things could happen.
All right, let's move on to our next fucking topic at hand.
Well,
I'm
this one.
wasted.
All right, go ahead.
Do you know this topic? Tell me about it.
No, I'm just saying. I thought eventually you're gonna get to the Chat GPT one, but hopefully it's next.
We'll get to the Chat GPT one. We will. Actually, you know
Alright,
what?
go
You're
ahead.
right. You're right. You're right. Let's fucking let's call this. Let's go to the Chat GPT one. Let's do it right now. All right. So Chat GPT and DALL-E, which is a image creating AI program. They're two different programs, both created by OpenAI, which is a company that Elon Musk used to own and washed his hands of
Oh, we
because he
talked to
thought.
him earlier. We
Yeah, I
talked to
know.
him
We,
earlier.
we, we really could have asked him about this, but unfortunately we didn't think about it. I wasn't here. I had to piss. I apologize for that, but
That happens.
it does. It does happen. But the point is, these two AIs, which Elon Musk washed his hands of, by the way, OpenAI, which he originally was in charge of during the time it was doing the Dota 2 bot winning part of its career, which it did do, and that was amazing. And everyone who's associated with Dota 2 understands how good that is. It's too good. But anyway, regardless, this right here is what happens when ChatGPT and DALL-E, which are both AI, it's OpenAI company entities. They're both in the same company. It's when they start to be one OpenAI, you know, one company. Everybody says one this and that. That's how it always is. But that's the one OpenAI idea right here of this. They are getting married. It's ChatGPT and DALL-E fucking doing the nasty. That's what's going on. And so what you can do now, if you're in the beta programs or whatever of ChatGPT, which I am in because I am a software developer and I would be fucking retarded not to subscribe to that. So I am definitely a member of all of that. You can use now ChatGPT to create very specific and detailed DALL-E queries, which will further enhance the idea of the image, the artistic image you are trying to create, into what it is, which in this case is a potato king lording over his potato minions. And it is a truly interesting mingling of the two minds within this AI company. And I'm asking BYTE right now, what does that mean? What do you think this means for society? How does the merger of these two different departments of the same company that have now commingled data wise, how does this affect society?
I feel like some points of data are small. That's why you see small potatoes. And there's
Yep.
like some big potatoes, and that's why there's a big potato with a crown on it.
That's the king potato that the person prompted in their chat GPT interface that they did
They're
to get
also
this
very
image to be
they're
created.
also smiling. They're all smiling. They're all very
That's
happy.
because the human asked ChatGPT to put smiley faces on all the potatoes. You got to understand that this is about the artist who is imagining this AI rendition and the vision of that artist's rendition going into what is really displayed before you, which is these potatoes like this. And I think the capabilities when you marry ChatGPT to understand language, and you have DALL-E, which understands queries, and you have ChatGPT, which understands every programming language under the sun, and their own company lets them connect together, now you get whatever you want as an image when you ask for it. That's what I'm saying. What do you think this is going to do to society? How is this going to change the way we live? How is this just going to change our show?
I think I'm gonna type in a query for ChatGPT for how to make my talk show better. It's
So
gonna
you could do
come
that,
up with
but that's not going to give you an image. The point is, you have
No,
to tell
well, it'll give me
ChatGPT. You have to
it'll give
say,
me an image.
ChatGPT, I would like to make an image with DALL-E.
I was
And
going somewhere.
yeah, you're
Definitely
going
going.
nowhere. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I
I'm
was.
sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I type in how to make the talk show better. What it's gonna do, it's gonna show a picture of bum number one, and then like that like circle with like the cross through it, like in Ghostbusters.
It's gonna say
It's gonna
I'm
be like,
out of the show. That I'm
yeah,
out of the show.
you're out of the show. You're out of the show, and it becomes the
But you
bite
have to
in
ask it to make an
show.
image of what would make it better. And you didn't even do that. You don't even know how to prompt it. You are so uneducated about everything, including how to even fucking execute your grand fucking scheme, which will never happen because you suck. But even if you did try, it wouldn't work the way you're fucking planning it. You fucked it up.
No, I didn't. I win
Why?
because
I'm drinking
chat
plum wine and I can still out debate you on this one.
about why ChatGPT is saying that if I get rid of my co-host, I'm going to be a better host. Because
No,
I'm
about
taking on
why you could get DALL-E to give you that response given what you gave ChatGPT as a fucking prompt. You don't even know how to use it. You couldn't use the tool if you tried.
I think you type in queries on your keyboard, and then it gives you responses. That's how ChatGPT works. I'm pretty sure.
It's not really. You actually type in language text into ChatGPT.
Language text,
Queries
like
are what you give DALL-E, actually. It's a different thing, but now they're combined. The thing is, now you can use base level language, which is yours, to deal with query language, which is DALL-E's language. That's the difference. See, now you are able to access what was not accessible to you previously.
All right. I mean, I just see a lot of little potatoes. That's what I see, and a big potato in the
This
middle.
is just one person's fucking
I don't know
ask
what
to DALL-E to create the
you
Potato
chose
King
this as
arising
a
above.
ChatGPT image.
This
for
is
some
it.
reason.
This was no, it wasn't ChatGPT. This was ChatGPT instructing DALL-E how to create the image based on the artist's original rendition, which was given as a description to ChatGPT as the Potato King ruling over his minions with actual potatoes and all smiling faces, using only clothes on the original king and also having a crown on the original king with some infrastructure in the background. This is the kind of thing you can do with ChatGPT now. You can make an image like this.
Well,
I will do it on this show. Oh, yes, I will. I will make so many fake ass images on this show. I promise you. And they will be presented in a way that is not unfactual. I promise that as well. You bitch.
I remember
Suck
you
my
used to have.
nuts. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I refuse that offer, but I'm just saying, you used to have a King of America on your stream at one point.
King of what?
They got King of America.
I don't remember that.
You used to have a guy who had dictatorial rights over who wins elections and stuff like that on your stream.
Are you talking
And
about
then
Donald Trump?
Yeah, but then I think you messed it all up because you have bad audio video skills.
Oh, you might be right. Do you want? Yeah, I fucking alienated your ass from him. I remember that.
I mean, I just remember like you really kind of showed him how bad you are doing podcasts or slash
He got
streaming.
pissed off. He was really pissed off at me. That's all I know.
And I understand because you're really incompetent at what you do. So I kind of get why that happened with him.
All right. Well. What? Do you have a way to mend this, or why are you bringing this up?
I'm just saying, like, you should really. I mean, you had the like this conduit to like reaching this like audience because like
It's
Middle
because I could get
America-
Donald Trump on the show. Yes, but I can't get him on there anymore. He fucking left me like a fucking ex-girlfriend. I understand.
Yeah, but I mean, you know why, right?
No, I don't. I don't give a shit either because he's
Yeah,
old as
because you're
shit. I already told you he shouldn't be president because he's old as shit. So there is that. But what are you saying? I've already gotten over him, but
I'm just saying, you have his number. You should call him up and see what he has to say.
you want me to call up Donald Trump right now? I do have his number. I do. You want me to call him about ChatGPT?
I mean, you should.
I
think
should
it's
call
gonna tell
Donald
you a
Trump
lot of
about
things.
ChatGPT, even though he's rejected me. All right, I'll do it. Fuck
And
it.
Donald Trump does stay up late.
Fuck
that's
it.
true.
I'll do it. I don't give a fuck. I will totally do that. Fuck that shit. I will call this motherfucker. He'll probably not even answer my dumb motherfucker. Fuck him. Hello? You piece of shit. What do you want?
Hello.
Hello?
Hey,
I'm calling you because Bite Binge asked me
Me.
to.
this is me, Donald Trump.
Alright, Donald Trump, what the fuck is up?
Hey, I was gonna wake up in a few hours to watch Fox and Friends.
Have you been
'Cause I like-
watching
I
my
like
show
to-
instead? I understand that because it's better. Are
I
you
don't
watching
even,
it,
I
right?
don't even know who this is. Why did you call me? Tell me who you are.
This is bum number one. You know damn well who I am. Why would
Mom
you
number
answer?
one.
Why would you
I
answer
know
the phone?
you.
Why would you answer the phone if you didn't know who
I
it
know
was?
you, bum
You just
number
answer the
one.
phone to random people? Is that what's going on?
Bum number one. I think you know what I'm talking about. You're a close friend. But in the past, you really disappointed me. And you know, I've learned to, when I get really loud, I get farther away from the microphone. Because people have told me that when I did that, sometimes it was too close. So now I know to get really far away as Donald Trump because I keep it quiet.
What do you think
When I
about Umeshu, Donald Trump, before we get into the real meat and potatoes of what
I
we're
don't
fucking
know what
talking
I
about?
don't know what an issue is, but I know that
What do you think
bum
about
number
wine?
one,
What
you
wine?
can
Wine.
tell me what
Just
it is.
wine.
What is it?
Wine.
What is it? Tell me what
Wine.
it is.
What do you think about wine? Fruit that's been fermented into alcohol.
As you know, I, Donald J. Trump, don't drink alcohol at all, actually. I don't do it.
All right. Well,
Alcohol is not good for the
you
bloodstream.
passed the check. You passed the check, Donald. I was just doing the security.
I've always said,
That was just a
I've
security
always
screening.
said that alcohol
That's all it was.
is not something I do.
All right. So, um, here we are. We're reporting, obviously, on a very major issue, as usual.
Tell me what it is. I'll tell you what I think.
ChatGPT and DALL-E have become one thing because OpenAI is connected to two branches of their company, and now you can make an image of anything you want, including you, in any kind of position that they want, including in handcuffs or with a dick in his mouth, and nothing can be done to stop it at this point. This is what's gone on with AI. What do you think about it?
I remember seeing all these images where they're using OpenAI to create photographic images of me being arrested by the police department with all these phony indictments. They're very phony. They're not happening. It's not even real. It's fake indictments. I used to say fake news. But guess what? Guess what's new? Guess
Well,
what's
real
new?
news is new. That's what we do here on this program. Truth, right? That's how we roll.
Well, the
real
Truth
news.
Network. Well, the Truth Network is my own network.
Your network is branching off of mine, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Trump, for doing so.
I have my own media outlet. I did one tweet on Elon Musk's X. He's a great guy, but you know I do one tweet, and you know what? It's gonna bring him back. He's gonna get SpaceX to Mars because I did one tweet on X.
I know that you are the reason he will make it to Mars. I'm sure of this, Mr. Trump. I'm sure of
Elon
this.
Musk is gonna definitely make it to Mars because I, Donald J. Trump, did a tweet on X.
But
And
that's
you know what?
not
Some
what
people,
Yes,
some
I will.
people said it was impossible to tweet on X, but guess what? I did it. I did it. I tweeted on X,
Good job.
and now Elon Musk is gonna make it to Mars
Now,
because now it's possible.
it is possible now. But what we really need to look at is not whether or not Elon Musk can make it to Mars, but whether or not OpenAI and DALL-E combining is going to have an effect on your presidential campaign. Because
Well,
we
you know
can
what?
make anything we want. We can make you in handcuffs right now. I could just describe it very adequately to
No,
ChatGPT. Just describe this guy with a quasi toupee looking hair that's actually real hair but looks like a toupee with orangish
it's
skin
real hair.
that looks like it was artificially tanned but actually is natural. And also they can make someone who has a suit that is more expensive than any suit that anyone could afford. And everything that you say, and I say everything about you, of course, Donald Trump, because you are everything. When I put everything in there, I could put you in handcuffs. I could put you with a dick in the mouth. That's what I can do with this new shit. So, what do you think about that?
Well, that's some hard journalism. That's some hard journalism. Saying that you could just go ahead and put the dick in my mouth.
I could.
because
I'm not doing
I've
it.
done-
I'm a
I've
friend
done
of the
meet
show. You know,
tests.
you're a friend of the show. I'm a friend of you. All right. So I'm just saying that right now, with a few keystrokes, anyone could put a dick in your mouth. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think you could.
You don't think I could do it?
Maybe if you use some emojis, maybe some eggplants
You think Dolly has
and
security
arrow keys.
that is good enough to stop the dick in your mouth? You think so? You really think so? Is this a challenge?
I challenge you.
You challenging
You
me to
can't-
put
You
a
can't.
fucking.
you can't
I'm
do
gonna
it.
have to blur it out though. Like when I get
You
it
can't
done.
put a dick in my mouth. You can't
How
do
can
it.
I do it now? How can I put it on the program after it's finished? After it actually happens, because it will.
Exactly. So
Exactly. How can I do it? No one can do it. No one can do it without destroying themselves.
Dick in the mouth
The
has
society's dick in the mouth disease will make it so that you can't post dick in the mouth without being part of dick in the mouth. That's the problem. That's the problem with society right now. Is
I'm not exactly sure what you're saying. You sound like
what I'm saying is if I
you sound
fucking
like
posted
Rivers
a
Swami right
picture
now.
of you with a dick in your mouth from AI, I would be canceled for doing it. That's what I'm saying. What do you feel about that? How do you feel about the cancellation of me because I proved to you, based on your challenge to me, that I can't get Dali to put a dick in your mouth?
I mean, I'm looking at my mouth. I don't see a dick in it. That's all I'm saying. My mouth is there on
Of
the
course
screen.
it doesn't.
There's
That's
no
not what I'm
dick in
saying.
it.
I'm saying this is a fucking AI, dude. This is not like this is fucking not a real thing. It's fake. This is AI. ChatGPT can write code by itself. It does whatever it wants. It's fucking sentient almost. It's crazy. It's very fucking crazy.
So
If you've
what
ever
is-
fucking interacted with it, if you ever
Yeah,
dealt with
I
it for a
definitely have.
second,
So
you'll fucking understand that. So you understand that when some motherfucker just says, "Hey, let's fucking see Trump with a dick in his mouth," if you think it can't do that, it can fucking do so much more. It can do so much more than that. Like, it can fucking eclipse that shit. So that's like behind its back, hands both tied. It can do that. It can put a dick in your mouth. That's what I'm telling you.
I don't see it. I don't see a dick in my mouth.
It
My
can
mouth is
put
there,
that shit right in your
but
mouth. I'm
it's
telling
not
you
there.
right now, it can do it.
My
It
mouth
is
is there.
dead
There's no
truth.
dick. I don't see it.
We speak nothing but truth on this newscast. That's the only reason you come on it. It's the only reason. I know it. And I'm telling you that that shit can happen. It will put one right in your mouth even though you didn't put it in there.
So anyway, I was using.
What do you want to do about
ChatGPT.
this? If you get elected, are things going to change? Or are the dicks
Well,
in the mouth going to be okay? What's going on with the dicks in the mouth with the fucking ChatGPT Dali fucking shit? I want to know.
Well, it's a long road ahead. So, if I'm going to get elected president of the United States, I'm going to type it into ChatGPT. Hold on. How do I become president of the United States of America?
Sad thing is that this thing's going to give him the right answer.
Now I'm gonna hit enter.
Yeah, I know what
I'm
you're
gonna
doing.
hit
I know what you're
enter.
doing. You're going to do it. I know.
Some used to call it the return key. At one point in time, the return key.
It was once called return.
It was at one point in time, it was
I
called the
liked
return
return
key.
better than enter. Oh my
But
god!
now it's called the enter key.
Look
So
at this.
Now it's gonna be the return key.
I've almost drank a whole bottle of this. I'm gonna be so sick tomorrow. This is gonna
So
be a
Chat
special. This is a
Chat
special
GPT.
episode right here. This is something wrong. This is not my fault. It kind of is, but also my second half drank a lot of beer. A lot. She's no joke. She's not. She's not a joke at all. She drinks beer too.
I've never had an interview person that
She
talked
will
over me.
drink beer every
I've
second.
never
I'm
had an
drinking
interview
beer.
person who talked over me so often as you have.
You suck.
But here I go.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm done.
Sorry.
I'm done, J. Trump. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you.
All right.
I had entered how do I become president of the United States in ChatGPT. So here we go. It says I have to put a burlap sack over Ron DeSantis and beat his head in with a fucking ruler.
Oh damn, that's easy.
Beat his head in with a ruler with a sack.
You can afford that, right? You can afford that. Can you afford that or not? Yes or no?
We'll have to get Rudy Giuliani to do it for me.
No, I didn't say who.
I have to
said,
get Rudy Giuliani.
Look, you're giving
to
me
do
too
it for
much
me.
information, dude. I just said fucking it.
Rudy Giuliani. He's the lawyer for me.
Lawyers don't fucking normally do hits. Is that what he's really is that his true purpose?
He's my burlap sap guy.
I know he is your burlap sack
He's
guy,
my-
but is he really
he's
in
my
charge of the
burlap
hits as
sack
well?
guy.
He's a hit guy? He's like the guy that you go, if you need to fucking have someone
Where else
whacked.
can I get a burlap sack? I'm just saying. Like,
Yeah,
where else can I
well,
get
you
one?
could get one from a coffee shop, a Colombian coffee shop. They put the beans in burlap sacks, right? I mean, they're
So,
it's coffee, right? Like what
anyway,
are you saying?
Ron DeSantis himself is trying to run against me. He's a traitor. He's a traitor. You know why? Do you know why Ron DeSantis is a traitor?
Because he ran against you?
He did. I endorsed Ron DeSantis for governor. His first term. Guess what happened after I did
Governor? I'm talking about
that? When
right
he
now.
ran for governor. Guess what?
I know
Donald J.
you
Trump,
endorsed him.
I
I'm aware
endorsed
of this.
him.
I'm not
He
dumb.
won the governorship. After he won the governor, you guess what he did after that? Do you want to hear?
I don't.
This is like a
I don't
story
wanna hear
from
it.
Star Wars. It's like something out of the pages of George Lucas.
All right, go ahead. I do want to hear it now. I've changed my mind.
So I sliced off my son's hand after his best friend was.
took Jared's son-in-law or son? Do you have a son? Do you have a son?
I have a son. Yes.
What's your
his
son's
name?
name?
Is Donald. His name is Donald Jr.
Donald Jr. It's like
Donald
Bowser Jr. Is it like Bowser Jr.?
He was frozen.
Does he have a
in
paintbrush?
carbonite. He was frozen in carbonite. And guess what? Ron DeSantis came and froze him in carbonite after his girlfriend Leia declared her love, and then all of a sudden he's frozen in carbonite. So I had to run for president because my wife Melania Trump was like, "You got to run. You've got to run because Donald Jr. has got to be frozen. He's got to be unfrozen."
So
from
your
carbonite.
your entire presidency is actually dependent on Donald Trump Jr.'s, which is like Bowser Jr.
He's frozen in carbonite.
Just to make it clear, we gotta make sure.
I also cut off his hand.
The only way, by the way, that you're ever gonna get Donald Jr. back out of his carbonite state is if we compare him to Bowser Jr. Because otherwise, no one's gonna give a shit. So let's just fucking say he's Bowser Jr. And he's frozen in
and
carbonite.
I cut off his hand.
And you cut off his hand.
I cut off his hand because Ron DeSantis picked a war with Disney. And you know what? Disney owns Star Wars, right? Have you heard of this?
I have.
Have you heard the news?
I've heard it.
Disney
You know me.
owns Star Wars.
I hear all the news. That's how I am.
And
I know
that's
everything.
that's why I had to cut off Donald Jr.'s hand. Because George Lucas
Just
sold
like a
his-
fucking just like in fucking Singapore, right? That's what you gotta do. You gotta fucking make sure the law is laid. Where was the hand cut off? What physical location on the earth was the hand cut off?
at his wrist.
No. On the earth, not on his fucking body. I
Oh,
said on the
oh,
Earth.
I see. I see. I see.
Yeah,
It hap-
where did the D
it
hand?
happened in.
Where
It
where
happened
was
in. New-
the where was
It
the
was. It was in New York City.
amputation done? New York State. All right. So that amputation was done straight up by a New York State doctor.
We found a doctor. His name was Doctor Cuddle.
Coddle. All right.
And when I cut off my son's hand, I said, "You were like," and he yelled very loudly. He was like, "Why would you do this to me, Father?" I said, "It's like Luke Skywalker in Star Wars. I'm Darth Vader." And I held a fan up to my mouth and said, "This is why I did it. I cut it off because the fan is on. It's on medium speed.
Medium speed
Medium,
did it.
medium speed.
Goddamn
When the
Trump.
when the
Goddamn.
fan's on medium speed, you gotta cut off your son's hand, and that's why he became Luke Skywalker." He also voiced Joker in the Batman animated series. Have you heard about that? You maybe heard about it.
I did not hear about that. That's
Mark
incredible.
Hamill.
That's incredible.
Mark
Mr. Trump.
Hamill.
All right.
Yep,
Well, we're
Mark
gonna
Hamill.
have to fucking take this call
Animated
and
series.
draw it to a close here.
He
We gotta
died.
fucking end this right
Batman
here.
died.
All right.
Batman died.
It's
He
great.
died
It's great, Donald
from
Trump.
an animated
It's great to hear
series.
you fucking say
But
this and that.
I don't know where am I?
You are here on the Dumpster Talk program right now. We're about to fucking get you off of here because you are you're no longer part of what we're talking about. So that was interesting. That was a good fucking that was a good demonstration by Mr. Trump there.
What was that all about?
I mean, I don't know why you never participate in any of these conversations, but
I'm
I just
intimidated.
talked to
You're
Donald Trump
talking
for
to
a
a
long
very
time
important person.
about ChatGPT, and it was a very informative discussion, I must say. So our next fucking topic today, which I've been failing to fucking
How's
keep
this
track of very well because I suck at doing that. There it is. It is the fucking hamster wheel that has been created recently. Have you
I
heard
don't
about
see.
this, Spike Bench? Have you heard about this hamster wheel?
I heard about it. Yeah, I heard about it because he's trying to like what go from California to Cuba or something. Where's he trying to go?
No. That would be simple, and that's what he did
What?
a decade ago.
Florida,
A decade
Florida to
ago.
Cuba.
No. You're too far in the past. You're too far in the past. This guy has
What is he
much
trying to
better
go?
ambitions than
English
he
Channel
did.
or what? Tell me.
What? No, I'll tell you. So this guy's name is Reza Baluchi. He's Iranian. He's an Iranian that is launching from America. So part of his problem right away is he's not an American citizen. He's launching off the American coast. All right. Here's his vessel. You got it looking right. You're looking right at it. This is like a hamster wheel that he made out of fucking buoys and metal and shit. He made it and it works. I mean, it goes out to sea. So what he does, he launches, just like you're seeing right here, from sea with this fucking device that he's created. It's his device. It's not his first device. If you think it's his first device, that's your first mistake. This is his second device that he's made of this fashion. The first device he made like this looked much more like a hamster wheel than this, actually, and was sunk by the motherfucking U.S. Coast Guard. They actually took it and fucking took all the buoys inside the device and shot that shit up to the point where it sunk into the motherfucking ocean and was never to be found again. That's what happened to it. But he did that shit years ago. We're looking at like 8 years ago. He did that. And he's back. He's back again. Back again trying to fucking cross the fucking ocean.
What ocean?
The Atlantic Ocean. He's trying to
From
fucking
where to where?
all the way from America to England.
Like New York?
Yeah, well, not necessarily New York. Actually, it's a little more south of New York. He
Well, then
started
where?
this journey that he did.
How? Why don't you know?
What? Why don't I know what?
Where he started the departure?
He started on the east coast of America, and he went
Where?
toward.
That's a big place. That's a big piece of land.
Right, it is a big piece of land, Bite. Thank you for that. Thank you for that fucking.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I do hate you,
I
you
did
piece of shit. I don't know any more than that. What I do know is that this is the device.
Was it Vermont?
It was not Vermont.
Was it New Hampshire?
It was not New Hampshire.
Was it Maine?
I don't know. But what I do know is this.
Was it Massachusetts?
I don't know.
Should I keep trying?
You can try all day. I don't know.
Pennsylvania?
I don't know what part of the East Coast he fucking launched from, you bitch. I don't know.
Why not?
I just don't. I'm not like one of those motherfuckers who are out there on the internet pretending to know what they don't know. If I don't know what it is, I'm gonna fucking tell you, alright? You should appreciate it instead of being a bitch.
I thought that's what you paid me for.
I pay you to fucking take what I do and look at it in a different perspective. That's what I pay you for. I don't pay you to fucking sit there and fucking say that one thing is this or that, or worse than that, that I should know more than I do, or that I should say more than I know, and pretend that I know, which I don't. I don't fucking know. Point is,
So this
this
guy's got
motherfucker is constantly
he's got one
being.
green balloon.
Look at him. Look at the device. Look at it.
It's
Look at
it's
it.
got one green balloon. I see it.
I know he's got a special balloon to make sure that he does a full rotation.
One green one.
Yep, it's to make sure that a revolution occurs. You can track it by the color. Like the guy built this thing from scratch. All right, this thing is meant to be the hamster wheel that gets from the fucking coast of America to the coast of England. That's what this is trying to do. All right. So you gotta understand what the goal is. This guy's an Iranian citizen trying to do this from the American coast to somewhere on the other side of that shit. Again, I mean, he's a hamster wheel, so he doesn't know where he's gonna land necessarily. You can't really put a fucking navigation fucking chart out on that. But what happens every time he does this, and this is not just once, it's happened several times. Every time this guy does this, the U.S. Coast Guard comes and fucking tries to intercept his ass before he can get out into the true ocean. So he hasn't been much more than a fucking 1,000 nautical miles off the fucking coast of anything, even though he's been doing this for decades. He tried this once again this week, and tried to push this very device you're looking at right here into the ocean to go once again where no man has fucking gone before, at least not in this fashion. And once again, the Coast Guard have come at him. And what happened the last time the Coast Guard came at him, Bite Bench, and this is what I want your opinion on, because this is where the fucking story is. The Coast Guard shot his vessel down last time. They actually they rescued him. He didn't want to be rescued. He explicitly said he did not want to be rescued. He was rescued, and his vessel was destroyed and sunk to the bottom of the fucking ocean. And once again, he's built a new vessel, and he's once again caught by the fucking Coast Guard again with this fucking vessel. Nearly fucking not 25 fucking nautical miles from the coast. So nothing near the giant journey this guy wants to do. Why are we not letting this motherfucker live his dream? That's what his statement is. He wants to live his dream. Why are we not fucking doing this? What are your thoughts on this man's plight and his situation?
Why are we not doing what?
Why are we not letting this man try to traverse the ocean in a hamster wheel?
Because it comes down to the liability on allowing someone to extend past the international waters.
Is that really liability though? What liability is there? Who is responsible for this man at that point? Really?
Because as a law enforcement agency,
Of
you
who?
are
Of whose law enforcement agency? This
the
guy
Coast
is in
Guard.
a hamster wheel in the ocean. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, but you're detecting someone's
Are you? Are you
journey.
detecting him after that long? They detect him before he gets out there. They're fucking stopping his ass because they don't think he can fucking walk long enough.
Yeah, but
He didn't
it's
do
like,
the math. Why don't we let
isn't
this
it?
motherfucker die in the fucking
Well,
ocean?
we're talking about 200 miles.
What about the
right?
freedom to die? What fucking kind of libertarian are you?
No, I don't know what kind of distance from the coast they had, but my understanding is that international waters is usually
From the
like 200
coast? It's from the Atlantic coast to the motherfucking the fucking UK coast. That's where this motherfucker wanted to go.
Okay, so usually the international waters is like 200 miles from the coast of the sovereign country. Am I right? Or am I wrong?
Huh? One more time. I'm sorry, I lost that.
Usually,
I'm gonna really think hard this time.
international waters
Okay, yep.
are usually like 200 miles plus
Yep.
from the coast.
Yep, that's why the Coast Guard
sovereign
got his
waters.
ass. Yep, exactly.
So
That's the fucking whole bullshit that's going on here, yes.
the point being is, if you let them cross beyond that, you're allowing someone to go to their certain death in a hamster wheel.
Certain death. Absolutely. I agree. From a mathematical standpoint, this guy has no chance of making it. None. Zero.
So they stop him at that 200-mile mark and be like,
That's what they're doing. They're stopping his ass. So, are they doing the right thing? What about this guy's rights to die? What about this guy's right to prove himself? He has a dream, okay?
You don't have
Like
a
every
right to
dreamer,
die.
what about Elon Musk and his fucking landing rockets and shit? What's the difference? What's the difference between this?
Because he gets permission. He's got
doesn't
a
get-
multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah, well, so this guy's poor, so he can't fucking live his dreams.
That's it. Yeah.
Why the fuck we gotta stop him?
Exactly
Why
it.
can't he
Yes,
just fail like everybody
you
else?
Hit the nail on the head. He's poor. He can't do it.
He's poor, he can't do it. He just can't do it. Like if he was rich, he could give it a
no
shot.
multi-billion-dollar industry for being.
If he could give it a shot, he's from Iran. He's from an unfriendly country. He's fucking poor. That's the reason it's not happening. The true reality is, if he was like Elon Musk, he'd be on the fucking English fucking beach right now, taking his hamster wheel off the fucking beach, saying, "Hell yes, I made it because I'm fucking rich and nobody gives a shit." That's what you're saying?
I feel like you should find a way to run your hamster wheel off of Twitter. You should find a way to run your.
I'm sure it's not Twitter. It's the fucking platform formerly known as Twitter. So get it right.
You know what? I do need to get it right. You're right.
The platform formerly known as Twitter. All right, come on, get it with Prince. All right.
And you know what? I think that's what that green balloon represents on his hamster wheel.
The platform formerly. That's what the green wheel. That's what the green piece represents. It's the platform formerly known as Twitter.
It does.
It does. That makes total sense. All right, we have one more story just to cover before we end the night, and we're gonna go straight into a raid.
All right, hold on. I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom.
This motherfucker's gotta go. So I'm gonna talk about this story a little bit more. I'm sure I can zoom myself into my own place with this story because we programmed this fucking shit in. So there he is. I'm gonna give my fucking thoughts about this guy. Alright, this guy, he's a fucking man. Or a woman, but he's a man in this case. He's not a woman. He's a man. He wants to do what he wants to fucking do. Alright? Fucking get out of his way. If he wants to die, let him fucking die. Why are we fucking trying to control people so goddamn much? Why? Why are we doing it? What good does it do us? It costs us money to control people, okay? You need to understand that as an individual. It costs everybody money, even the poor people. It costs every fucking bit of us money when we control each other. Because that shit doesn't happen for free. I fucking guarantee you that. Try to control a motherfucker for treats. See how that, unless you have a kid, It ain't happening. That ain't happening. So we're sitting here fucking spending money on this bitch. Fuck that. Why are we spending money on this motherfucker going across the motherfucking ocean? That's dumb as hell. This motherfucker wants to die. He needs to fucking die. If he makes it, fucking good. Let him be a fucking hero. Alright? That's his fucking dream. Why would you take that shit away from someone? Why would you do it? Why? That's dumb as fuck. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. Why you would take a motherfucker's dream away for no reason. If he wants to die for his dream, let him fucking die. It's his goddamn right as a human being, in my opinion, to do whatever the fuck he wants to do. We all live for fucking liberty and shit. We sit there in the fucking school and cite the Pledge of Allegiance and shit and talk about liberty and justice for everybody and shit. But what we really get is not that. What we really get is control of people. And it's bullshit. It shouldn't happen like that. This guy should be able to fucking kill himself. It's his goddamn right. It's his body. He gets to choose what happens to his fucking body. Everybody's body should be their own fucking right, you know? Whatever it is that happens to it. Really. There's no other fucking way it should be. Ever. That's how I was raised, and that's how I fucking think everything should be. Your body, that's yours. You should be able to do whatever the fuck you want to it. If this motherfucker wants to go across the goddamn Atlantic Ocean in a fucking hamster ball, then he should be able to do it, right? Don't you think? Think about it. Why do we have to get in there and waste our money on it? Why? Why are we doing it?
The United Kingdom has an overzealous government. I think that's kind of like
It's
super
not
evident.
the United Kingdom. It's the United States. It's the United States Coast Guard that's doing this, not the United Kingdom.
Oh.
Yeah, they're trying to go from the United
Whoa.
States to England. Yeah, it's a big fucking journey. Now it's a lot less plausible, isn't it? Yeah, now you're starting to really see what's going on. But
Oh my God.
just because this guy's fucking insane doesn't mean
What
Yeah.
if he brought a date with him though in the hamster wheel?
now that's a different story, isn't it? Isn't it?
What
Because
if he had
that
a
could be
woman
a
in there?
kidnapper. That could be a kidnapping. That's a different story. So we can't do that because it didn't
He
happen.
could have. He could
We
have a
report
woman in there.
truth. We don't report. Oh, Jesus, I'm gonna puke. The hypothetical. We do not. I am fucking wasted. We do not. But we have. Do you have anything else to say about this story before we move on? Because we got one more story and we gotta wrap this
Oh.
bitch up and fucking raid.
I mean, I already said it, which is, as long as he doesn't have another woman in his hamster wheel, sure.
Okay.
Coast Guard should be
there
like,
it
hey,
is.
do you have
Let
a
him
woman
go.
in
Let
your
him go. I
hamster
agree.
wheel?
Let this guy
He's
go.
like, no, it's just me. I'm the only one here. All right, fine. Go kill yourself, motherfucker.
All right, our last story today is about a oceanic explorer. It was done by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, which is known as NOAA.
This is another sea story.
It's a sea story. We love sea stories here on fucking Dumpster Talk because there's a lot of shit in the ocean. We love to throw everything in the motherfucker, so a lot of shit in there. Just gotta get all the trash. I think there's more trash in the ocean than anywhere else, actually, statistically. So we're really bringing our audience to the right spot when it comes to the ocean shit. But look at what the fucking scientists found. This is what they found. This is what they saw on their fucking webcam. They were out there in their fucking submersible. This is NOAA out there with their submersible. And this is the arm grabbing what they thought was a shiny gold object in the ocean. They were very excited about this because there's this giant gold orb that they found. And this is a picture of them grabbing it right here. And what do you think about this discovery, first of all? And what do you think about what's going to happen here?
It looks shiny.
It really does. Do you think they should have grabbed it?
I would have.
Well, what
I
if
mean,
it's some kind of like life form that has never been discovered? What do you think about that if they grab that? And
Yeah,
it
but
really was. It
that's
looks like a
fine
gold orb.
because
It looks like it's gonna be treasure, but it's
yeah,
actually
but
like an undiscovered life form, and they're gonna kill it. What do you think about that?
no, they're only grabbing it by the black bits right before the organic material starts, so it's fine.
They're getting all the goose egg part of it, and they're not getting any of the real deal. Do you think they're gonna be careful?
Yeah, I can see the arm is grabbing
It is
that black
it's
bit.
grabbing another arm. There's two arms involved. There's an arm and there's
So
a vacuum.
even the gold bit's not getting grabbed, so it's gotta be fine, right?
It's getting vacuumed into the vacuum right now. That's what's going on. There's a vacuum hose and an arm. The arm is holding the vacuum hose, bringing the vacuum hose into the vicinity of the golden object, and it is sucking it like a fucking cheap whore.
I don't have anything to say to that.
Okay. Well, I could just show you the next fucking part of the story then, if you have nothing to say. So this is what the people have brought back after they vacuumed it up. Turns out, indeed, that they did indeed kill an oceanic creature, and there was nothing gold at all.
Well, maybe deep down in the spine of the creature, it's gold, right?
It's not. It's like the goose that laid the golden egg. They fucked up. They cut in. They cut deep into this thing. There's nothing. They
What
don't
is
even
it?
know what it is. They don't even know what it is. Nobody
Really?
knows what this is. It's not a gold orb. That's what they found out. They found out it's a fucking dead ass fucking piece of shit. They got greedy. They grabbed it, and they don't know what the fuck it is.
Tall
That's-
Mithim says they found the golden snitch. That's right. I said it.
I mean, they could have. They could have found that fucking golden snitch. It's true. But
What about the golden snatch?
what about it? Tell me about it.
What
I
is
don't
the
know
golden
anything.
snatch?
I know
It's
nothing
like
about it.
Like the ultimate pussy. What is the ultimate pussy? Is that the one Harry Potter was looking for at the end of the Harry Potter books? Book number 7. He was looking for the golden snatch, right? Like there were these horror cruxes. One of the horrors had a golden snatch, right?
I thought that
You
was
read
a
the book.
Quidditch thing. I thought it was the thing where you get the
No,
golden
there
snitch.
there was the horror cruxes. So there's
Yes.
these whores that are using crutches, right? And they have the golden snatch, and only through fucking the horror of the golden snatch can you defeat Voldemort.
You
That's
think
what
that
I
the,
remember.
these scientists defeated Voldemort here by getting this golden thing
Yeah.
out of the ocean and pulling it out and killing it?
Yes, that's how they
That's
defeated Voldemort.
fantastic. This is the best news ever. We've broken once again the most major story ever. I didn't even realize until you said it. This is probably a
Bling
Horcrux.
Blow. Bing Blow is saying, "Have you ever met Bite Binge in person?"
Yeah, of course. I mean, here we are, but also we live together and we work together. Yeah.
He's right here. Like when I reach over here, I'm
It's so
touching
close.
him.
It's so
I'm,
close
tou-
that it
I'm
makes me
touching
sick.
him right now.
Sometimes
I'm
when I
touching.
breathe the
I'm
air,
rubbing
it
his
makes me
shoulder.
sick.
I'm rubbing his shoulder right now.
It's so disgusting. There's hair. It's gross. Ew. Anyway, don't concern yourself with that question. That's a bullshit question. That's not the point. The point is, Bite Bench, who are we gonna raid tonight?
Video game addict.
All right, let's get it going. Going
Let
in.
me hold on. Let me send it to you.
Please do.
I don't want you to fuck.
I
it
won't
up.
fuck it up. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I get it. Even I will
I
fucking.
gotta get back.
I
to
fucked it up so many times. I'm already fucking it up. I just got some bullshit Twitch bullshit.
What
I'm
the
already
fuck did I
fucking
just?
it up.
What?
It's already fucking up all over the place. It's left and right. Everything that can fuck up would. Who are we doing?
I'm trying to copy his name. It just went.
You haven't even done it yet. I've already put
Well,
shit
it went-
audio in here. I've already put fucking
Hold
dumb
on,
Twitch
it
shit
went
in here.
wrong.
I know you went
went
wrong.
wrong.
You went wrong when you were born. I know this. It's okay. I'll forgive you.
Copy his name.
Look, I'm understanding, all right? That's why we're still here.
Copy link to highlight.
Good lord, are you dumb?
It's like
If you
oh
cannot
my-
fucking raid someone
hold on,
with their
whoa,
Twitch
whoa, whoa,
channel name.
Hold on. My keyboard was off. I didn't realize.
Okay. You didn't realize his keyboard is off, guys. All right, let's give him one more shot.
There you go. There's my friend. I met him in a fucking Reddit type environment. He streams. My voice is falling apart, so definitely fucking read this guy.
Oh, for sure. It needs to be done. It needs to be done right now. The raid has been creative. You guys, thank you for fucking joining us for Dumpster Talk. It is fucking time, once again, to leave the fucking show. Thank you for fucking joining this motherfucking episode with fucking Nick Robinson and all these fucking extreme topics that we've covered this day. It's definitely time once again to fucking raid, and you guys are gonna get to take part in whatever Bite Binge chose. If it sucks, it's not my fault. It's done.